This platform is independent, and we wanted to work with everyone across the spectrum. So folks are invited to share what they know, and the viewers makes their choice, and we ask the questions and we give the opportunity to answer.
This craziness, man, I do not care. Why am I so anti-establishment? Because of what I've seen the establishment do to people. That's why I cannot be pro-establishment.
Power is in the hands of the people. And it really did. What we all witnessed is the government, they knew that they're heading in the wrong direction. They knew Gambians are speaking in the same voice.
What law in the books that says the government has power to come out and go after folks' private citizens' properties and demolish them because somehow the government interest?
The only way that we can salvage our country is when everybody that gets their hand dirty. Don't sit there with your expertise and just to procrastinate everything that people say or pontificate, what everybody says or does. Let's get our hands dirty.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Another Sunday for the people, by the people. People's power that I'd say Pap Samba Jau. Nuna bro.
No, Samba Hana be most.
But you tell us not your tongue.
No, you look much younger, definitely. I'm
going to know Bubacarr, so I have to kind of, put a twist.
Young Alturi.
How you been?
I am good, man, and good to be back. Last week, Mom, I missed it. Here we are.
I know.
Another Sunday, another conversation. It never ends.
And it's going to be interesting, I believe. Bubacarr Sidiqi, and I'm sure that we have a whole lot to talk about.
Oh yes,
I like him, even though we kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, I hope you're not going to call him the MAGA. The
MAGA.
The MAGA.
I want you to apologize calling me MAGA. He's a straight shooter, Sometimes people will say he put his foot in his mouth, but other times people like he's he calls it the way he sees it. So
which is good.
Of course, every Sunday we come here we have partners, people that help us. They work with us. And as we kind of get into 2026, this is the platform. If you really have a service to offer, hey, come work with us to put your service out there, because we're going to be attracting people in the thousands tuning in to For the People, by the People, because they know we are the independent platform, and we're going to talk about the politics, the real deal, all the time. So if you're a service provider out there, you have a business in the diaspora, or you have a business in the Gambia targeting the diaspora, you know exactly what platform to come and work with. So we are open for that. Give me a holler and let me send you our contract. We're not that expensive, Pasamba. Sometimes we need help. Let me put it that way. We need help to be able to fund some of these things, that kind of a thing. It's very important.
But we also want to thank, like you say, somebody like Nakala Tuda or Basne Yangi Panja Grikara Sefelhan. So yeah, but just somebody like Basirun Dao, who has been behind the scenes and definitely been extremely generous with his resources and time in helping us get to for people to get to see what they are seeing. So Bas, why it's $1, so you cannot be any different,
Well, he's been the guy, paying for the streaming. the streaming that we're using right now.
Oh yeah.
So it is what it is. But we also do get help from these partners.
Welcome to Kisha Restaurant. We are located at 1460 Boston Road in the Bronx. We are open 7 days a week from 1 to 12 a.m. We serve Senegambian food and American soul food on Wednesdays and Senegambian food all 7 days. We do dine-in, we do takeout. We serve chebiapa, we do mafe, we do plaza, we do ebe every other day. We have yassa ganat with rice, sugar kanja with white rice and fufu. We serve a lot of delicious foods. For dinner, we do dibi, chicken dibi, penta, cold chicken. We have shawarma, lots of good food. Also, offer catering services for weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, whatever you need. We got it here at Kisha. You can call us at 718-450-8606. And we're also on Uber Eats. And if you've ever been to Kisha, make sure you leave a review. Thank you guys for supporting, and we hope to see some new faces.
Thank you, Keriaisa, for being part.
No, it was the way she says Chebujen, Chebuyapa.
But then we also have global property.
Welcome to the Gambia, a country with a rich tradition in tourism and a beacon for investors. Experience a nation committed to progress, a home where nature's beauty is matched by the warmth of its people. A nation that is fast-growing and developing, thriving for togetherness. At the heart of this development is the Global Properties, the Gambia's premier real estate developer, introducing you to our latest property being developed, the Lakeview, an epitome of luxury and comfort. Whether you are looking for a residence or investment property, Lakeview is the ultimate option. The Gambia is not just a place to live, it's a place to thrive. Welcome home.
Well, property, and of course, Rural International. We're talking about the environment.
According to the World Health Organization, WHO, as estimated 7 million people die from air pollution globally each year. This includes both outdoor and indoor air pollution. Most of these deaths, 4.2 million, are caused by outdoor air pollution, such as from vehicle emissions, industrial activities, and wildfires. Indoor air pollution, such as from burning wood or cooking fuel, is responsible for an additional 2.8 million deaths. Air pollution is considered one of the leading environmental risk factors for premature death. It is associated with a wide range of health problems, including respiratory diseases, heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Each breath you take, there is something in it. The question is, what damage is that going to do to your health? One of the biggest misconceptions about air pollution is that it comes from one source, or it has the same health impact that is not so. Air pollution comes from many sources, and many sources change over time. For example, if you are standing by the road, ride particles coming from tire wears, brick wears, and there are particles traveling in the air that travel in far distances. An estimated 1,000 people die each year in Washington state due to outdoor air pollution. Air pollution is a serious problem in Washington state. In a new report from Washington Department of Ecology, researchers investigated health data for 16 overburdened areas of Washington and found people in these communities face a higher death rate from air pollution than the state average. The report also shows higher rates of chronic respiratory and cardiovascular conditions across the 16 areas, where ecology has identified vulnerable populations that face high levels of air pollution in addition to social, economic, and environmental inequities. People think air pollution affects the lungs, but perhaps what they did not realize, it affects every part of the body. The advertisement is funded by Ecology with funding from Washington's Climate Commitment Act. The CCA supports Washington's climate action efforts by putting cap and invest dollars to work reducing climate pollution, creating jobs, and improving public health in collaboration with New World International.
Thank you, New World International. Good afternoon. I think my man is on. Oh, I need to put him on up to stage. Bubacarr, welcome to the 40 People by the People. Another show, baby. You haven't been here for a while, though. We kind of miss you a little bit.
I've been busy, Gambia keeps me busy.
Most you didn't notice that America is flashing his watch to you?
No.
You get flash watch on me, and I buy local help.
Badu, come here, get them on to Sabarbi.
Why?
Coach. So, we need to get me, they may need.
I couldn't.
No, you know what? I could not help, but
Why, coach? Coach, you know, you hang on man Taliban doyla.
No, I think I saw any. Well, graduate.
What regular?
Bahna, you see the watch most.
Man, mother them the rose the gave you doy the meeting. Telling him
Baru di rose
man 100% that Taliban kila daga sa. Halifa salala borom wa sula mo solo wa hafta. So lay lol. Li mom full time at a time.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Why it's good to have you, Bubacarr.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we need to apologize because few Sundays when we first announced it, that's when we were supposed to come. But then, we had this conflict. Pasama was working, Sarian went on a trip, and I jail one-on-one, mano or mano. I need help. So, but it's definitely good to have you. And
where's your boy, your American boy, Saria?
Saria,
Saria, you know what I'm saying? Yo, don't you bother, yo.
I'm
Saria. You know what I'm saying? Saria.
What you do?
Come to our level.
Everybody does. So
steadily. Accent English accent black. We all
know this stuff.
I think it's a body booting.
Wow. So what happened? Is he coming later? Or?
No, I'm sure he's gonna.
He might join us late because I think he was engaged in something last night up to late. Seattle, they are 1 million hours behind everybody. Well, hopefully he'll be joining us.
I don't know what to say. They go digger. They go digger. Like, God damn, Gambia's gone.
Crazy. Oh yes.
I know. So
Worker, it's good to have you, man. And most before I knew, interestingly today, coincidentally,
right,
it's 9 years since the jailing of Ousseynou. It was on this day that Mr. Dabo, Kemeseng, and all of them today, 9 years ago, were sentenced to jail. And I know Bubacarr, of course, Kemeseng being your dad, somebody that you've worked with for a very long time. And of course, Ousseynou, you were emotional on that day, angry and pissed off that had happened. So just maybe to take you down memory lane, can you relive that moment? Just, sitting here in Seattle, you were in Seattle then, and just hearing that your dear father and Ousseynou and all those people were sentenced to jail for 3 years. And we know a sentence, you see them when they came out of jail, if they had stayed any longer there, we would have lost a lot of them. But what does that bring to you? Exactly 9 years, man.
Thank you for that reminder. Wallahi, my mom was just reminding me of that scenario. And he's right. I'm read Quran right now on that side, but he's kind of forgotten about the whole ordeal. It definitely brought back some really very, very painful memories from the onset on that fateful day of April. I think
April
16th. No. The day they were taken in.
Yeah. It was April 16.
Yeah, 16.
Exactly. So was 14, and then there was 16. Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole from that day, basically I didn't know he was going out. I had no idea. We didn't discuss. We didn't. And my mom was not here at that time. My mom went to UK to see my sister. You know, and talk like just after the morning, I just in the video, like I said, pick up it. And I was looking in the crowd, looking for some guy. Because somebody told me your dad was. I'm like, nah, he's not gonna. You know, but I knew him. You know, I kind of had a 50-50 feeling he's gonna be there. Sila zoom defini majis bena blue haftan guy ñu ko ekati diko sadi hey subhanallah. I couldn't so and then I called my sister. My younger sister was 14 then. She's just graduated with her master's degree right now next couple of months. Yeah, so go call me dafa ñew suba mu oko mu ne ko kay mu jene all you know how pioneer right they have all these belongings, the KT compound documents, you know, cash, birth certificate, you know, valuables, people entrust them with things, you know. So he took everything out and laid it down to my 14-year-old kid, his kid sister. They're gonna this and that. My mom wasn't here. She was the only person here, right? Gave all the basic responsibilities that he had with him. So basically he knew with certainty that when that's gonna be part of his last day sleeping at the house.
Right.
And I didn't have this conversation with him. So until I saw him in the crowd. And then fast forward, the court cases happened, and I was literally I expected the verdict. I was not stupid, you know, I know Jammeh, you know. So I basically was in a state of mourning the whole time that this thing was happening. This whole back and forth. People, oh yeah, Jammeh is gonna forgive them like Baba Lee did. We go there and then, you know, Nyan guy, please Malaton, you know. Like I'm like, these people are not gonna do that. I know these people. This Femi Peters. Why do you know who's Femi Peters is? There's no group that Femi is gonna be in and they'll go and beg Jammeh. That I know for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad and all that. So, and then obviously the verdict came, and I remember that day I made a Facebook Live to basically calm people down. I was the one calming people down, telling them, look, you know, it's gonna be fine. These things do happen, but I had a very strong conviction at that time that this is gonna be the last batch of people that, Jammeh basically jails. I was really. It's like somebody was telling me, like an inner voice telling me, this is it. I knew the end was near. How and when, but I knew that 3 years was not going to be, they wouldn't be there for 3 years. And lo and behold, in the next couple of months, and we were able to usher in this beautiful change. So, yeah, that's it. Alhamdulillah, he's still here. He's right now, strong. Old now, he's 81 now.
Wow.
Still sharp, you know, even though old age comes with that sometimes. Issues with the memory sometimes. But other than that, physically, alhamdulillah, is fine, you know.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just had to bring that in. So, Uncle Musa.
It's very, very, very important indeed, because it is that verdict.
Musa, on your screen, there's a question here. Make sure you earmark that question. It's a very good one.
Yes.
And this is something I hear all the time. So I really want us to delve on this later on.
Absolutely.
Don't forget it by Moses Bass.
Yes.
He has a very pertinent question, and it's a challenging question. I don't like to dodge challenging questions, and because I'm hearing them all the time. And I want to elaborate on that later on. Something about why are we considering us on only Brikama and not Bijilo, Sukuta, and Bruford and all the places. So it's
definitely. And I just paid my my rates. So.
Hey, when you stop some rates.
You guys need to send people to like revalue properties of ye. I think that he is paying below the market price.
No. Good. Actually, it's not a funny matter, huh? This like Yalamola right now. You just spoke. No, seriously, because this is something we are fighting now.
Right.
You know very well Musa's house. You know, you've been there before, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you value that house. I don't want to put Musa's business out there in the open, but yeah, alhamdulillah rabbi amin. Musa, you know, that place is a very, very valuable area.
about $3 million house. So
yeah, it's pushing it. Okay, the location alone, and then So and then you asking Musa to pay how much? What, 2, 3 grand, 4 grand?
3 grand. That's what I paid.
3 grand. That's like what, $75. So what is Musa's current mortgage tax for the year in Georgia right now? In Cobb County. Well, where do you live? Cobb County or DeSoto? Huh?
County, Douglas County.
Douglasville. Okay, so that area, what's your property tax for the year?
I'm not telling you, but it's a lot.
Yeah. But exactly, that's why I'm saying you and I know it's a bit high.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I do believe that there are houses out there,
yes,
paying $3,000 and then expect top of the line services is not possible. So that needs to be revisited. Really.
Yes. So the hindrance that we, Yankuba and I and our team have discussed it, especially given places like Bruford Heights and those kind of expensive areas. Yes. But guess what? And I'm so glad that Coach brought this up before we even delve into stuff. There are billions of dollars that British American Council can make from these high value properties. But guess what? Absolutely. We cannot, by law, do anything right now except unless until the Ministry of Lands comes out with a program to reevaluate and reassess, and then put new values on these lands, and then commensurate it with the taxes that are due. So right now, let's say you own a $20, $30, $40 million house and you're paying $400. That is insane.
It is.
You understand? So let's say $40 million house value, 1%. It's 1%.
Yeah.
See, that's still almost about $400,000.
Yeah. People, no. People, I don't think a whole lot of people will have a problem with that. But
no. And you know why? Most the people of Bruford Heights, they have a so-called village VDC sort of a committee of Bruford Heights. The area that Tough lives, right, and Alphabet and all those rich people. They came to council because they are thinking like you are thinking now. They're smart people. I applaud what they did. They came to Yankuba and told them, look, we feel guilty. He said, we, in our own evolution, in our own discretion, as residents of this area, we put together on an annual basis $250,000 per household to do our small little projects around it. We wish you council would have collected that
money.
So that tells you the government citizen want good for themselves, and they're ready to expand on themselves. They're ready to spend when the right people are in place.
Absolutely.
They came forward. They never told us to sit for Sonko. No. It's crazy. But they came and told Yankuba. But unfortunately, there's no legal framework for us to claim that or to collect that $250,000 that they're putting out for themselves. But they know that's the right thing to do. So imagine if we're allowed to do all this, all those houses, Bruford Heights, your area, and the Bigelow, and over there, all this, Tough, they're all paying $250,000. BAC will easily make about $2 billion a year, and we don't need no subvention from central government at that level. We don't need no money truck loans. We don't do nothing. We'll take care of our own issues. Even educational systems, we can sponsor our own high schools and educational systems and hire the best teachers for our region and our students, and not have to rely on the central government for nothing. Just do this little re-evaluation and reassessment of the properties within our high value areas. But central government say they don't want to do it. I know they don't have the will, but they hide behind things like, we don't have the money, we don't have the finances, we don't have the budget to go on this expensive endeavor to reevaluate, because you have to hire evaluators like Sphinx, and all these other evaluators that are in the country, and they give you a concrete, well thought of evaluation of your house. And it's also good for the real estate market, right? Now we don't have to be sitting here telling somebody, $6 million. Well, who evaluated that shit? How do you know? Sorry, guys. I'm American. I'm gonna drop it. So, we, three of us, we are fine. I know they don't like the S1 and whatever. But anyway, but who evaluated that property to make sure it's worth $6 million? Who? How do you know? You don't have no running cables there. There's no running water. There's no fiber optic cable. Why is the land worth 6 million? What's the value?
Yeah, again,
you understand?
No doubt there is potential for these, local government municipalities to be able, and like you said, unless and until they are bring about the legal instruments, not only that, but also decentralize it, I don't think these things can get done. But again, looking at what is happening coming out of the commissions, people are saying there's a lot of work to be done in those municipalities first. They need to fix it first. Nobody wants to pay that money for somebody just to, whether it's a CEO, whether it's a contract committee or that committee, just deposit these millions into their account. But what I mean, then it's all over the place. We need to fix the mess first. But again,
when it comes to the local councils, when you say fix the mess,
yes,
I don't think the system, like the mechanisms, are much of a problem. I think we have a personnel problem. The kind of people that we are letting them, the kind of people we are allowing to run these councils. On the government side, they're bringing in CEOs sometimes and finance directors that are not up to par, because they look at local government as some kind of a, low class, whatever. It's not taken with much seriousness. This is my view. If I see some of the staffs that the government bring to BAC and all the other councils, and I look at them, I talk to them, and I see their capacity firsthand. Because sometimes these people, when you want to get them to talk. Don't let them just show you my credential. Oh, I went to this blah blah university. Sit down and have a talk with them.
Right.
Start piercing through their brain. That's when you know what is what. So it's really scary, the kind of potential, how to call it, capacity that they bring into these councils, and it's deliberate. Because you need to remember the way this, from Jammeh to now, the way they looked at other councils is not to provide services. It's for the other councils to be the political vein of these their incumbent parties. This is how Jammeh treated KMC, BAC, and any other council. Okay, it's basically a money making machine to fund local political campaigns. This is the mentality. It was never meant for local governments to be what Yankuba is doing now, what BAC is doing. No, that was not the plan. The plan is to have them useless, irrelevant, ineffective, and then just collect as much as you can, and then give it to your yai companies and bring all your political hooligans, your political crazy people, come and hire all of them, give them jobs, put them on payrolls. They don't have to come to work, but every month they're getting their pay stubs in their paychecks. This is what other councils were during Jammeh, and Barrow want to basically continue the same old thing. So being at KMC, Talib, Rohi, and Yankuba, all this, UDP, they all found this out the hard way. Say, luckily before Talib came, Bubacarr Jammeh was interim, because in those days they have an interim one that comes in a few months before the elections and cleans up the place. So he came and encountered, like, I don't know how many hundred people that were on the payroll in KMC getting paid, and then when they investigated, they were all yai companies, militants here and there, Jack Society, blah blah, all these weird people.
Yeah.
See, so this is the fabric, this is the makeup of the local area council. So mechanism wise, structurally, I think it's okay, but who do you put in there to make sure they are doing the right things?
I don't think it's just a question of personnel, that if you pull this guy, you bring Bubacarr Sidiqi, the problem will be fixed. I think it is much more deeper than that. Than just like you said, you guys don't even have the legal framework. So it's not just a question of personnel. If you bring in, like, for instance, you've mentioned BCC, you've mentioned KMC, you've mentioned BAC. We're watching what is coming out of those commissions. It's not only a CEO problem. We're talking about councils that are giving out contracts. If you are a reformer and you really come into a bad situation, we wouldn't be witnessing on what we're getting from these councils. So I believe it's not a question of just personnel alone. It's much deeper than that.
Well, what I'm saying, the reason why I said it's not so much of a structural, because look, okay, the reason why the commission is holding people in account right now, telling them this what you did, they are basing it off on what? The law, right? The framework.
Alone?
No. You say people are violating, people are giving contract and everything. So they are going outside of the framework. So what I'm saying is not a framework problem. Okay? Because that's because the commission is using those same frameworks to hold people accountable. So it's a matter of having people to fall within the frameworks. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I mean.
But again,
so I think like example in BAC Brikama's case, right? Coach, you were all here when we were fighting with Jonga and Jack. You said, get out of here. We saw what they did. We did our internal audit. We placed in front of them, in front of the whole entire journalistic fraternity, this and this and this and this is what's been stolen. This is what we cannot account for. This is what's happening. Yankuba made a press conference and showed everybody what's happening. He said, I need these two guys out of here, the CEO and the finance director. When I get rid of these two, I'll be able to get things into place. So we fought for it, and we took out 2 personnel and replaced them with someone that can fall within the confines of the law. And within 6 months, from June 2023, as soon as 2024 hits, the 24 calendar year, we reckon about what, 250, almost $270 million, as opposed to 75 million the past 3-4 years consistently. They don't go past 75, 76, 77, 78. So you cannot just explain it. So how can you explain that? Just 2 people left. 2 people in key positions were taken out, and then revenue grew from 75 to 200 or something, and now we are en route to 300 in 2 years. So that tells you the framework is okay. But how do you get the right people to fall within the framework and do what they have to do?
Bubacarr, you're basically saying all you guys have to do was change your personnel. I'm thinking you guys must have changed also the processes, how this money is collected.
Yes. There's a bit.
So you have to change the standard operating procedure. Whatever you found there obviously was foul. But these people, it's not just a question of personnel. Pasamba Momoy, the honest guy, Genel Musajeng, he's dishonest. I just think it's a combination of both. Yes, personnel, leadership, like you said, you have a genuine reformer, somebody who wants to come in and say, you know what, this thing is not working. We're collecting taxes, it's not getting deposited to our bank account. How do we change that? You don't just say, I'm just going to change this person and bring in this other person. You would say, okay, we need to change the controls. We need to change the processes themselves. So again, I do agree, personnel, yes. But processes, standard operating procedure, and a genuine reformer, I think that's what's going to make the difference. But whilst we are at it, even though you wanted to deal with it later on, that question that was put out there, why are you guys ignoring Bijilo, the Brusubi, and everything is about Birkama? We see you, we see youngs, you get lean dohi Birkama, they're wearing their working stuff. We don't see them in Bijilo. We don't see them in, how to call it, way back in Bullock. So what's up with this? That's what these people are asking.
Yes, and like I said, I didn't want to run away from that question. I could have dodged it, but I flagged it. I said, make sure you put that in there. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it's not a very tough one either. It just needs communication. It needs enlightening. I think what's happening, and that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this, okay? Because there's a lot of people that are seeing it, and I'm hearing these comments a lot. Luta, why Brikama? Did we just vote for Yankuba because of Brikama? Yes. Yeah. So, there's a guy named Suleiman Kamal. He's been insulting me since yesterday. I'm full of myself.
No, bro.
No, it's okay. It just makes me laugh sometimes. Anyway, that's fine. So, so with regards to that, what I want to Mr. Moses, I think it's Moses, and other people that are how to call it, asking this question, is never a question about only concentrating on Brikama. We need to understand, when we came, things were very, very dire. The situation is really, really bad. And Brikama being the capital of West Coast region and the seat of basically the chairman, that is basically the main business hub of the region. It's the business bloodline of the entire region. They all feed off Brikama. when it comes to commerce, agriculture, government services, and so many things. Schools, the college. Brikama is the capital. And there are certain structural deficiencies in Brikama that cannot be ignored for a long time. They are very expensive to fix. They've been lingering for a very long time. You're talking about almost a 20, 30-year-old neglected, infrastructural problem, especially the drainage system. Okay, we came our first year. We know we don't have no money to work on it. We said, let's take our time and plan and study the situation and come up with a better plan to at least make the place habitable during the rainy season. Because during the dry season, you don't hear a lot of complaints. But during the rainy season is when things get really, really bad because of the poor planning. Well, not the poor planning. There are drainages that are fixed, but unfortunately, they've been clogged up. Most of them are clogged or blocked somewhere. So we need to go and trace all of these things, but it takes money. So, but what we also did our first year, we said, okay, it's a big region. You cannot go to every other region or every other ward and then have a massive development project there, like a capital project, BAC capital project. But we said, look, we can take some of the revenue that we have here and give it right to the wards, not the ward council. I mean, the ward councillor, yes, but not to the ward councillor himself. We give it to the ward. So let the ward development committee sit down and take a look at that, that finance, and choose one or two major projects or major deficiencies they have in their regions, and the ward will decide among themselves, consisting of many villages. Two people from each village development committee, VDC, they make up that ward development, and then they will decide. Because I personally have witnessed one or two of those ward development committee meetings in Block, and I think somewhere in Foni also, where they are discussing among 9-10 villages, where are we going to spend this 500,000? So the first year we gave them that 500,000 to ease the burden on these massive 20-something wards that are in the region. We gave them 500,000, and most of them did a lot of work on that. I've seen people with 3-4 boreholes. They were very ingenious with how they were spending this money, and there was accountability. The ward was happy, and everybody was getting a little snippet of something. It's better than nothing, 100% that like before. The following year, the following year, we added a 100%. We went $1 million. Some people build markets, like here, Jambanjeli Fulakunda, a nice market. That place never had a market in their whole entire existence. They were under the Boto Bojang, the councillor for Sanya Ward. So they were able to do that. Some areas built like almost 4 boreholes. See, and these are boreholes that are providing livelihood for women in their gardens. Some, did markets. Roads, like feeder roads. They hire these big graders and then clear the feeder roads and make life easier for people during the rainy season. So many things. Some did like garden fencing, provide security for their produce. Some did school fencing. Some, so many things. Yes, it's a big region. People like places like Bigelow, they are building a market right now. They're building a market. Brookfield also, they have a land allocated already. I think they're trying to build a market or something. So they will decide what they want to do with that money. But at the same time, we still do some capital projects like Sintate right now. There's a bridge that is connecting one village that's more like a border village to Sintate. That bridge collapsed. We are building that. That's on top of the ward development committee money we already gave the Sintate ward, the 1 million. This on top of that. We were building that bridge. The Jambarsane area also, Brikama, that we are doing the drainages this year. That's all council expenditure. The Sukuta market, we fixed on top of their ward development committee. The Sukuta market, they had a big problem with their toilets. We built a brand new toilet, soccer ways and so many things and a borehole to help the market people have a nice sanitized marketplace. So these are still happening on top of the ward development committee. So what I want people to understand, the resources are not all there, but we are trying. We came from somewhere. We came from a period just barely 2 years ago where there's nothing. There's not been any expenditure in the areas for past 20 years. No expenditure in equipment, no expenditure on education, no expenditure on health. And now it's all happening in the millions. So there's progress. But is it going to happen overnight where everybody's going to have their like seeing something in their regions? It's going to take time, but at any given time, every ward in the region is having something coming to you. This was most important. Even if it's going to be a simple borehole, it's something that's coming to you that was not coming to you 3 years ago or 30, 20 years ago, but it's happening now. Every region, every ward, sorry. So that's progress.
Yeah. So just quickly, like Suleiman, I just want to caution him. I mean, it's okay. We don't censor anyone. You can disagree with Bubacarr all you want, but let's kind of watch our language, because we don't really want to delete you. Or, I mean, let's just disagree without getting into the F word and all of that.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys.
And let's disagree contentiously.
Yeah,
but let's keep it.
Let's disagree with knowledge and information.
Yeah, but I mean,
this whole crazy vulgarism, I'm not.
So Bubacarr, obviously, this whole thing kind of jigsaw I mean, because my original opening question, you're a very controversial guy. I mean, no doubt. People know you about your public persona and utterances that you put out there. But there's not more to you. I mean, you grew up in a political family, the son of Kisha Jammeh, the veteran politician, someone who has contributed immensely to the very liberation of the democracy, if you want to call it that we enjoy today. Kisha Jammeh was known to be a partner of SM Diba. Your dad ran against the Yaya Sise. I mean, you have, I'm so experienced losing elections. Can you really, the question that I'm trying to ask, because all of us grew up in a certain family and that's how your political orientation is formatted. Can you kind of walk us back? They will say LRR administrative area, Jara constituency, Yaya's number. I mean, Kisha Jammeh Amanganye. How? How did that, would I say, how did that contribute to who you are today, your politics and your orientation? Bubacarr. Funny it is, but I think
that used to be the thing there.
The way he said it, was every evening they were announced. And the day they announced, that same day he will start. You know what's funny? When they used to beat him in the election, every election that he went, like let's say they announced the result, so the following morning, people will come to the house the whole morning. Hey, you know, because Jawara was always making offers. You know, him and Bibi Dabo were classmates.
Yes,
him and Bibi Dabo, Lamina Fasao, and all these people. So Jawara had a way to get him through his friends.
Right.
So you offer him here central bank governor. And so one time they offered the central bank governor. So one time the ambassador to France. So every election they will do this. They will start. Come to my mom. And they'll offer this thing hasn't changed. This political advertisement in this minute it's been here since ever. So they'll use my mom. Like hey, ibaratale say ibaratale. Ibaratale say ifane da communicating. But what he will do. This is what's funny in Jara. After the election, when he will get on his car and go to all the villages and thank the ones that voted for him and the ones that didn't vote for him. Jahlan Jukal. And they couldn't understand that. Like, what is wrong with this guy? You lose. You're supposed to be mourning and stuff. Like, getting desperate. So. But he, because he has a very strong conviction in what he believed in, money is not an issue for him. He was not rich. He definitely struggled,
Right.
But he was lucky that he had a very faithful and supportive wife around him, and that was a woman that was able to really, took the family on her back, and. Made sure we went to school. She's the one that walked me to Auntie Ami and Uncle Sam. I remember one evening, I was about 4 years old, when they were just starting Nyakwai. We didn't even have a uniform then. you know, and so that's how instrumental he was, you know. So money was not an issue. Enticement didn't work because he had a strong conviction. You will ask me, where did the conviction come from? It came from his own personal experience with the Jawara government. People thought he just went and started doing politics. He was not a politician. He was a technocrat.
Right.
You know, did education here and you know Nigeria and all these places. And he was the CEO of, I think, chief financial officer or something they call it, Masakongo Area Council at that time.
Oh yeah, the municipality.
But Masakongo, yeah. And it's one of those times that Masakongo had a native son of Jara who was also CEO of the council. It used to be like, you know, Wabanjulini, they come and go. So when he came, immediately was a threat to his cousin. Yeah, he said was his cousin. Just so you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so he came through that. But this is the problem. So when he became a CEO. At that time, Baba Job, you know Baba Job, the late Baba Job.
Right.
So Baba Job's father, Kajali, was the top guy at that time. He was a top contractor. He used to get all the contracts. You know, so contracts come, you know, like they were making, at that time, there was EU money that came. There was EU fund. I can't remember the fund, but my dad knows. And the fund was being managed by Mr. Balagay. The Balagay man, the finance minister.
Was he finance minister then?
No. He was a young guy at the time.
You're right.
Yeah, he was one managing that fund in Jara. So him and my dad, they had a very good rapport. So there was a bunch of contracts because they were making roads, you know, like straight lights and so many things at that time. Faro, you know, Yoni Faro, you know. So there's a lot of money coming for contracts. So, but the main guy at that time, before my father, was this Baba Jo's father. He was a powerful guy. And traditionally, he would get all the contracts and then he would give to whoever he wants. His friends, subcontract here, subcontract there. He's a top guy. So when my dad came, my dad's like, nah, I don't think that's gonna work. Right. We are going to, this is a contract for LRR, not Jara alone. We are going to decentralize the contracts, make sure everywhere has a little piece. You know, the Kiankas get some little contract, you know, Jara West, Jara South, you know, all of these things. And that didn't go down well with the top guy. But the problem with the top guy's daughter, Kajali Job's daughter, is married to my father's younger brother. So listen very carefully here.
It's such a small community.
Yes. Babajo is my uncle. His sister is married to my father's brother. So that automatically gave the father, Babajo's father, the idea that my father should just give him everything like before. Don't even talk about, you know, trying to, no, just do this, you know, do what everybody does. Come give me the contract. Let's do this thing, you know, and then connect them say on. That was like, no. We will be fair. Everybody will have what they need to do. Whoop. That's the end. Then the fight started going against, I don't like to name names because these are history, you know, some of them, the kids are listening right now. But yeah, you know the deal. Yeah. And then they accused him of trying to build himself because he's making these roads, making these street lights, this like this basically expedited development, pump. Because the money is going where it's supposed to go. Kind of like what Yankuba do right now. So, no, you want to be deputy. They say you want to be deputy. Because he didn't go to school, right? He didn't have like a formal education. So it's like, oh, that guy, he's doing all this, I'm like a, you know, like a goodwill among the youth, and next election, he's gonna get you out of power. Then everything started. They send this guy something Gabi done. No. Something my father knows the Aku guy. They send him as an auditor. They accuse him of doing some little, you know, lava, and then he came and audited him for like a couple of weeks. They didn't find a single dime. Then he asked my father, he said, what are you, what is going on with you? I mean, are you all right? Like, what I found here, you should be celebrated. Why are they fighting you? Like, that's, I don't know. So a few months later, they kicked him out. They sent him to Kuntaur. He went to Kuntaur. They started victimizing him in Kuntaur also. Then they sent him to KUDC, KMC. So that's how I was born in Sarakunda. I didn't come here to hustle. So they sent him here. And while here, the same fight continued from PPP government. Same persecution. and he got tired of it. One time he was going to Jara on his official car. He had an accident in Fonyi. They said, "Oh, you're going to Jara for election, for campaign." So he had an accident on the road. Basically, they started going after him, and and then boom. So he resigned. He said, "I'm never part of." They suspended him, but then during the suspension, he wrote and said, "I'm not part of this again. I'm done." So that very year, Diba formed his NCP. So they linked before the forming of NCP. Him, Ode Jallo, and all, and Keba Bayo, Jibu Jan, and all these people.
Right.
They formed that NCP, and then from there, it was a constant fight against Jawara until whatever came in 1994.
So clearly, listening to you, that family experience definitely contributed to shaping your politics and some of your.
Yes, a lot. That's my school of thought. My school of thought was formed before UDP.
Exactly, that's your school of thought. Bob Samba.
It was formed before UDP. Yes.
Yeah. So Bubacarr, I'm going to take you back to back to the council.
Yes.
We all know that there's been a lot of struggle with markets and all that stuff in the Birkama area. We saw there what the operation clear the road or whatever. There's a market around Turntable, nicely built. Nobody goes there. They said that whoever the owner was, Jammeh took it from him, and he threatened that anybody who sells there, will not be living a good life, and so nobody wants to go there. Is there anything that you guys are doing with government to encourage people to demystify whatever myth that they have there, so that at least people will have a proper market? Because it doesn't make sense that it is built there, it looks real good, and nobody uses it.
With regards to the market, it's a delicate situation. What I can remember, we've one time called the people of Sukuta to come and have a discussion, and I think the councillor was actually involved. But what I understand, I don't think anyone is willing to go there because of this mystified notion of that place. Unfortunately, we live in Gambia. Every country has their own little weird ways of doing things. People believe these things. Maybe somebody who wants to dare it can try, but council cannot force anyone to go there. They can make it, basically make it a policy, open it up for people to go and use it. But unfortunately, the mindset here, I've talked to a lot of people, and nobody wants to go there. So there's really not much you can do about that one.
Do you guys follow up, think about maybe selling it to somebody who might want to use it for development, or maybe whoever this property was forcefully taken from, because that's what they're claiming, to see whether they can compensate the guy accordingly?
I think what needs to be determined first, who actually has the title to it. Is it government or area council? This is what I'm not really sure about right at this point. Who has the deeds, the title deeds to that place? But it happened during Jammeh. So during Jammeh, a lot of irregularities happen. So as we currently speak, I'm not quite sure who has the title to that land. So that's the first thing to determine. But I know area council do have an influence in how the place is run, and unfortunately, no one is willing right now to explore the opportunities that are there because of this mystified notion of the place. It's Gambia, man. So.
Yeah. So I have this question that somebody sent me from the Gambia. They're watching. And can you please ask Bubacarr if he believes it would make sense to consider dividing BAC into two separate councils for improved planning, service delivery, and development outcomes? That's the question. And then there is an addendum to it, an addition to it, sorry, which is it seems like one council is struggling to manage all jurisdiction it's too big to be managed effectively. By the council. Do you think at some point we have to look at demarcating it into two?
Well, Like I said, we've been grappling with this question for a while now. This is not the first time. There's a lot of debates online on this issue. There's people that strongly believe that yes, it should be broken into two. Some people also believe it's too big to be managed. But my point of view is, first of all, when it comes to the idea of it's too big to be managed, I cannot say that. I live in a county that's almost south of the Gambia. So the size is nothing. But in the Gambian context, people that probably haven't really traveled that much, they will see it as a big area. They can see it as a major area. But for me, in my point of view, it's not that big. I've lived in counties that are way bigger than almost close to the south of the Gambia. So it's not a problem of size. It's a problem of what? And also, so when you're dividing, okay, BAC is very lopsided. Okay, you have, let's say, from Brikama Central, from Brikama towards the Senegambias. That's where all the wealth is.
Mm-hmm.
So then from Brikama, Mandinaba going this way, it's all basically rural with nothing, with a very, very minimal tax base. I think the highest tax base in that area is these big gardens like Radville Farm, Nandu's whatever farm in this place, Bondali. Another Indian has another couple of farms in Karafi farms. So these are basically the biggest earners because the farms they pay quite good, and then even their boreholes we charge them like 15,000 I think per borehole, for commercial farms. So yes, there's some revenue there, but these are, and then homes they pay like what $200.
Yeah.
Say, and then some parts in Fonyi, you see like a cabilo. You don't even know where the fence starts and fence ends. You don't even know where and then the markets are very minimal. They have lumos. If you're lucky to get a lumo every 1 month, you have a lumo. So the revenue base for that half of West Coast. So when I ask them when we divide, how do we divide it? Do we because you have to divide it somehow, right?
Right.
So where do you put rich, like the high value rich area? Are you going to divide Brufu Heights and Brusubi and say, okay, you'll be part of Fonyi Kansala? You can't do that. So all the wealth is concentrated on this side. So the wealth collected from here, just like United States, right? You got poor states like Mississippi, Alabama. They don't bring anything to the union. California is bankrolling, basically paying all of it, babysitting all of them. But we still are a union. So if we break this thing up, where are you going to have the rich area and the poor area? Because if you started from Brikama and then go this way, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going to survive? Just like what happened to Sierra North and South. Mr. Musa, Sehu Jang, the chairman, is your nephew, right? Something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I visit him sometime. Yeah, the chairman of Kuntawu.
Jawara. Seku Jawara.
Sierra North. Kuntawu.
Right, Seku Jawara.
Yeah, Jawara, exactly. Yes, Jawara.
Mm-hmm.
See, that council, they have nothing. You go to the Sierra South, all they depend on is this Faros and Jahir Pajar. That's why they're always fighting with Musa Dabo, the Moro farms. So they're struggling to have any money. Now, central government has to subvent them all the time.
Absolutely.
To keep them afloat, because it's not a council that can sustain itself because there's no tax base. So just because you want to be on your own doesn't mean you can survive on your own. So let's think about it when we are talking about this whole divestment and diversification, breaking into two. Who are you breaking, and what are you? Where are you concentrating the money? There has to be something we need to think about. Size-wise, I don't think it's big. I just think we just need more money. We need to raise our revenue by, reevaluating our properties. Let people start paying their fair share. You cannot come and pay $200 and expect to buy $20 million excavators or $6-7 million trucks come and clean your thing when you're paying $200. When are you gonna digest that until you get to the $6 million? So this is it. Once the management is right, the right personnel are in place, revenue will come, and every area will get their fair share. That's what I believe.
Follow up on that point, Pastor. I'm sorry. You're talking about these are it's not really big. You said you've lived in counties it's much bigger than the Gambia.
Yeah.
So judging from that response, could that same argument be made and said, you know what? In fact, Gambia, you don't need municipalities. It's a country of 2-point-something million. All we need is an effective central government, and forget about municipality. Wouldn't it be the same kind of?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
for me, I've always been, people think I'm crazy when I say these things. I've always been arguing this. I'm not a big fan of this whole, well, at least at the level of, how do you call it, the governors and the commissioners, that's that level.
Right.
That's a whole total waste of money. So area councils, I think, yes, we can have them like in the mold of the British system, how UK uses the councils to basically run everything. The central government is just basically giving them money and let them handle their issues, from council housing to benefits to childcare to education. That system can probably work. Let central government stay away from education. Let them stay away from healthcare. Let them empower the local councils. Give them subventions. If the areas that are not making too much money, like the CRRs and stuff like that, subvent them with a lot of money. Okay, areas like Brikama, help them evaluate their properties, raise their property values and things like that, and let them take care of their own issues. And then central government just operates at a very minimal level. Defense, let's say central finance, revenue, GRA, and just stay away from, like interior and things like that, and stay away from the day-to-day operations of the country. I think this system can work, and then eliminate the whole governor nonsense. They are just idiots. Sorry, they're just sitting there and then creating problems and
But you
political all over the place.
I understand you. You will still maintain the municipalities, and I'm sure you guys are to be totally decentralized, for them to be able to have their own budget, to be able to have their own funds, and do all the things that needs to be done as very as independent and decentralized as possible, right? Because
they are closer to the people.
Right.
The minister that's sitting in Banjul have no idea what's happening in Jimara. Okay. He's just there with a technical degree, whatever, from university in UK, writing papers, and then to go getting some information 24/7, conferences and big talk and nothing. He has no idea what's happening. He has no idea what the kids are facing in those schools, in those Nandi. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's my nephew here. So this, I think it will cut down the bureaucracy and then let the people deal with that. Look at BAC right now. So see, we when we came, we understand the plight of the people. We gave about, from 2024 to now, total of recipients of our scholarship package, about 900 students. So central government will struggle to do this.
Right.
Central government will struggle to do this. There's so much bureaucracy, so much nepotism. Somebody's uncle is here, all that stuff. So what we do is we even at the BAC level, we decentralized it still. Yankuba didn't give any scholarships. He said, the councillors, 30-something of you, go to your areas and evaluate among yourselves. Bring me the most needy families that you think your communities are going to agree with. So even you, the councillor himself, cannot do anything lahas because the community will decide. The wards will decide. And they'll pick 7 or 8 among them, 8 councillor, and then we put it together. Then we have a package. So when people call me, I want a package, I said, I don't have a package for my own family. Like, none of my blood family has one package. Everything I have, I gave it away to people that really, really need it, and mostly victims.
Right.
I gave some of my big victims of 2016. I did. I'm not going to shy away from that. Okay. So even at the scholarship level, we were able to decentralize it and make it much more accessible to a lot of people. So that is exactly the system. See, what we should encourage, rather than breaking it down and then dividing into rich area and a poor area and things like that.
So Bubacarr, you're known to be a very controversial guy, especially when it comes to your public utterances. And I want to take you back to some of them. Most people would say it doesn't meet.
So you're trying to bar me here. Boy, feed the plastic bar there, boy.
No, do bar. No, really. I'm just actually face. Because I think some of these needs clarification. Because you've said the politics of your that, or the way, or even the United Democratic Party, that you guys are a different breed of politicians or activists or whatever you want to call it, and that this is not going to be business as usual. Politics will be totally different. What do you mean by that?
Can you repeat? Is it people of what? BAC? BAC? Is that what, is that what I heard? Or?
Not BAC. The question is, I've heard before that the current crop of politicians, young politicians within the UDP, compared to the older generation, this is going to be a different kind of politics. We are not going to just take it like they used to take it. And people sometimes, they make fill in the gaps. What do you mean by that when you say that? That this is not going to be business as usual? What do you mean?
I cannot remember that post specifically, but I understand your question.
Have you said this before? Like, it's not going to be business as usual? It's going to be different?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, that's why I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to clarify that whatever, because people fill in the gaps. What you're saying is, look, we're going to make this country ungovernable. Some will think that, well, you know what? We're going to go gatsa. Some will say, so in other words, what do you mean when you say stuff like that?
Well, most it's not that deep. It's not too philosophical. What I probably meant, or what I'm inferring in this situation, is times of change, right? Politics evolves. You cannot fight or do politics like in 2024, 2025, as you were doing in 1996 or about that time. A lot of things have changed. Politics now, because you gotta remember, in those days, media was very limited. So for somebody to say something, somebody can say something to you or make a claim, and it will basically go unchallenged, and basically just keep going, because you'll be lucky if you see it on on the Daily Observer at that time or Point. The rest is just gone. So you also, as the one that should respond, you have no medium. The medium that you have basically is a rally. You cannot rely on how to call it this place, Daily Observer or any of these other newspapers or Citizen FM or things like that. Most of them were under duress to even publish your statements or whatever you want to say. So you are limited. So you'll be hit. Let's say they came out here and accused Hussein, told Hussein that was his old man when he was just 45 years old. They call him Old Pa.
Really?
So Old Pa stuck. He stuck. We didn't have how to call it, a counterpunch to Old Pa. I love for you guys need to leave me alone, man. These Jamaican people get money. Get out. So at 45 years old, Old Pa stuck because we didn't have the mechanism or the type of basically infrastructure to push back on that. The Mandinka party's label by Jammeh, even though it's a lie, there's no empirical evidence to say yes. The makeup of the party executive at that time was so diverse. You have Yaya Jallos, you have the Singu Nyasis, you have the Femi Peterses, you have all of them. Joey Goswells and so many things. Far from the truth, it's stuck because the way we pushed back against it was not effective. Maybe yes, the mechanisms were not there, but now we have the tools. We have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, we have the exposure, we have the communication skills.
Right.
To hear and then bam. You don't wait until you don't let things grow. You fight, you confront things as they are immediately without fear. Because you have the tools now. You don't need JLTS anymore. You don't need no TV station to push back and make your so this is what I'm saying. This is probably what I meant by that kind of that was not what's happening in 1996 and things like that. So now when somebody come and say, Sidiqi, you are blah blah blah, because I get it. People come and tell me, you are this and that. tribalist, you are Ku Klux Klan. One time you call me MAGA. MAGA being of beauty. You know, all of this. What did I do? I went after you right away. I said, Musa, okay, I'm screenshotting this thing. Boom, 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 boom. You know, we had banter with it, and then it was gone. So this is it. You're always going to be confronted with this kind of situation. But how do you push back against it? This is the new way. So that's what I meant by it's not going to be as before. This is going to be a bit tough because we are dealing with a whole different, animal. Right? It's not this is just right now. We are not arresting each other. There's no. You go to work, you come in tomorrow, you are gone. This is a different type of politics. UDP are not very used to this one. We're used to fighting against a dictator.
Right.
Now you are fighting against a dictator. You are fighting against a Democrat who gave free speech and so many things. And it is what it is. Now it's going to be a constant punching back and go back. We always going like this. You got to be ready for that. That's a new way.
Just a follow up before my past number comes in. When people listen to your utterances, especially as we get 2026, most people would say that the Bubacarr Sidiqis of this world, they are in fact a liability to the party. When it comes to public utterances, their aggressiveness. Remember me calling you MAGA? And people think that you are far right. And people say that folks like this, they are in fact a liability to the party. Do you think that is a fair characterization for folks like you?
This is a very good question, and I'm really happy that this question came out. I was anticipating it, and I'm glad it's here. So today, I'll indulge your listening ears and give me a chance to talk to Gambians. And I think our politics has become so toxic and a bit difficult to operate in, especially if you have a voice, if you believe in something, if you're going against the grain, if you're saying something that might not be palatable to some people for whatever perceptions that they have in their head. I cannot control that. I have strong convictions about things. All my utterances are issues based, and yes, political. Sometimes political. Political, how to call it, political maneuverings within and outside of the party, but it's all centered around issues, not personnel, not personal stuff. I've never, basically gone against people for that kind of reason. And I have my strong beliefs, and I think one thing also, one thing that we also need to understand: most of these connotations or these accusations started happening when I get close to, when we work with Yankuba and try to get a candidate elected in BAC, and then after the BAC, that's when most of the attacks started happening, which I anticipated, and it's okay, because whenever you're doing good, somebody else somewhere is going to start feeling uncomfortable, which is okay. I helped my candidate by any means I can, democratically, by talking to the people, by selling him. And when he won, I stood by him to help him achieve everything we said on that agenda, the political agenda we sold to the people, because I helped him write that also. We wrote it together, we revised it, took it to one of our elders, he checked it, and it's good to go. And then we put it out there. So I have a duty to fight for that, to stand by my guy and help him. So people that are also saying that I'm a liability to the party or something like that, or liability to basically to the system that we are doing, I would say they're mistaken, because the same Bubacarr that, like I said, helped Yankuba come here.
Correct. And
we fought and stood against him. And every development, every initiative that people are now seeing, being it the scholarships, being it the expenditure of $101 million on buying trucks, garbage trucks, excavators, and all these kind of things. the ward development funds, okay, the projects that we're doing, the health packages that we're helping people, all of this were conceptualized not by Yankuba himself as a single man. It was a collective effort, which I was integrally part of. We debate these things outside of office, we think about it, we conceptualize it, bring it in, and then we try to make it work. And also, it's the same Bubacarr that has to walk that tightrope, working with, you gotta remember, every initiative that we put out there, it needs to be voted in by council. Every increment of revenue, every training of new revenue collectors, the processes you talked about, not personnel, but also the processes. As we change the personnel, those personnel were changed by vote of the council. And you gotta remember, about 10 of those are APRC councillors, APRC, not alliance, whatever. 10 of them, and another 1 or 2 GDC. So we got 12. So you need unanimous basically votes to help get these things voted, to help Jonga get out of there, to help Jen go, bring in another people, and then the processes, the financial control measures, the threshold, financial threshold, where you cannot spend more than $50,000 as a councillor, as a chairman, as a council, without the chairman having authorized that payment. We did that for $50,000, and then we revised it and brought it to $10, because we realized that at the 50 they were also finding loopholes around that 50,000, making expenditures like 25, 30,000 here and there, and then basically having a loophole within around that 50,000 threshold. We came back to council again and voted again to bring it down to 0. So now any expenditure from council, being a $1 or $100,000, Yankuba has to see it. The staff also, every staff that's getting paid, we gotta make sure we know who they are. We're able to do our staff auditing and clear all the dead people from our list, the long gone people from 1980 something that are still getting paid. We were able to do all that by one single stroke. Say, I need to know, I need to see who I'm paying his voucher. Let me see and sign. That's it. And disappear. Millions of dollars are saved. This all happened by votes. Who is influencing these votes? They're not all from our party. If I was crazy, if I was whatever they try to make me look like, I cannot walk this tightrope with these APRC councillors and the GDC councillors to walk and vote for these development projects. So I'm happy that the liability to the party is a plus to the people of West Coast region. There are like 900 students right now that have benefited from our scholarship packages since 2024. We had 367 new employees in BAC, from security guards to collectors to garbage collectors, sanitation workers, all kinds of stuff. Creating employment for people, young people. We nominated a councillor for the disabled, a lady named Sen. A disabled, differently able lady. We did all this. All of this didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened through consultation with people like me that they are calling liabilities. Because I don't agree with your political agenda or whatever you're trying to push. Now you got to label me. But I am not one that labels bother. I'm not my 1965 generation of people. Me, I don't care. You tell me, I'm like, okay, lots of business. If I can turn to you, I turn to you. If I don't, I just let you go. Let you do you, I'll do me. See, it doesn't bother me. Like when you did it, I laughed about it. I still have a screenshot. I joke with you about it sometimes, right? And I moved on. How many times did I banter about that again? Many times. I laugh.
Definitely.
Because I know in my conviction what exactly I am doing. And it's helping. It's saving lives. It's creating jobs for people. And right now, people of Jambarsani area, when it rains, there's no water. These people, when it used to rain, just last year, they'll go take refuge in a high school, nearby high school around Brikama for 3 days and leave their homes. Today, I was there. I saw them in their faces. They said, when it rains, we don't lose sleep over again. Alhamdulillah, for these damages that you guys talk out of our own capital project. It's also through people like me and Yankuba bringing heads together that we're able to create a sort of a PWD copy. In your days, you had a thing called PWD,
Wait,
Works department.
in your days,
In your days, yeah, you were coach. I was not aware of that days. I just hear about it. But anyway, we created a department called
just like that.
Yeah. So we created a department called the engineering department. We are the only one that have created this PWD type of department within our council to take care of our own pilot, our own projects. So that drainage system you saw over there, the engineers, the masons, the masons, everything, they all work for BAC. We provide them the material, the finances, whatever they need to do, and then they use their experiences and their knowledge to build what we need to build and save ourselves millions of dollars that we would have paid to contractors who would have scammed us and basically overcharged us, and we have nowhere to go. So we took charge of that. That didn't come out of a vacuum. That also came out of thinking outside of the box. So this is what I'm proud of. Not some labels, some fool sitting there telling me, you are this and that, you are controversial. Not controversial. Just because I don't agree with your way of thinking, it's okay. Right. But I am doing the right thing, and people are benefiting. This was more important.
Really matters.
So Bubacarr.
Yeah.
Quite often, we hear the UDP accuse the central government of corruption. An accusation that I believe is right. But given what we are seeing now at the commissions, and the UDP will always tout what it is doing in the local government, that is BAC, BCC, KMC, and is it Landing?
Yeah.
But there are people who are pushing back and saying that what we are seeing in the local government is uncontrolled corruption. Now, BAC, you guys are safe from it. You know, there is no, what's his name? Sirifo Sonko. I don't know why he's not appearing before the commissions himself. But that's what they're saying. What say you to that? Can the UDP raise its hands and say that, you know what, with all the local governments that we are running a corrupt-free enterprise? If they are, or do they also have, in that same vein, the moral authority, if they are not running it, to accuse Barrow and his government of corruption?
Well, that's a...
Answer it. Go ahead.
It's a good question. That requires courage to answer. That requires conviction to answer. And we as a party, our responsibility is to get the right people, vet them according to our own capacity, and have the belief in them that they will align with the principles of UDP and governance in wherever we put them, being it the parliament or councillors or chairman. We as a party do our best in giving the best that we think can do the job. And also, not just as a party, the community also that they come from will basically vouch for them. So we don't just unilaterally go and just pick somebody from Bingham and say, you become their chairman. They have to usually bring them forward. So it goes a double layer. We do our best. When they get to office, when they got to office, we still hope that they will take to the office and they will adhere while in office the principles that we believe in as UDP. Same principles that we've been fighting with Yadama with, making sure we safeguard the wealth of the people, okay, stop corruption, and be a real servant of the people. This is us. This is what we do. Okay? When they get there, they're not working in an institution with government employees, central, whatever, the central government's employee, like the administrative and also the political, because that's the two that runs the council. The administrative wing, okay, sent by the central government, employed by central government service commission or whatever, and then you have the chairman and the councillors that come along to get the work done. So this combination, now they're working in basically independently of the party. So we expect certain conducts to take place, and if they fall short of that, according to the commission or according to whatever inquiry that the president put in place, commission inquiry, if at the end of the commission, at the end of their inquiries, at the end of their investigations, whatever they're using, and they came out and put out tangible evidences against these people that we put in power, we nominated to lead this, how to call it, out of good faith, out of our belief in them that they can do the job without falling short of our standards. After the conclusion of the commission, which is a legal mandate of the president and the whatever commission, whatever they bring forth as evidence, undisputable evidence, we as UDP or Gambians in general will now look at that and make our own judgments. So while we await that, we take everything in stride as it is. We're hearing, okay. At the end of the commission, Patrick will give, or the commission will give his recommendations and evidences of misconduct if there's any, and that way UDP have no authority to back anybody or to support anybody if a proven malpractice is put in place, is for all to see. I don't think we'll be in any position to say blindly, because I don't think anybody will dare tell us, anybody to blindly support and throw our way behind a case where tangible evidence of corruption is or malpractice is presented. So this is all I can say on that.
Well, that is the most political answer that I've gotten. Very well. You pretty much, for a minute, I thought I was listening to Bill Clinton explaining away a problem, but
no. It's reality. We have to. Yeah.
Well,
it's an ongoing process. It's not finished yet.
Bubacarr, here is the issue.
Yeah.
You have never waited for the conclusion of any investigation before drawing a conclusion on corruption.
Yeah.
You call the government corrupt every day.
When you say you,
your party, no, I'm talking about your party. Your party, right? No, hold on. Your party, which now issues press releases more than anybody, issues press releases every time, every step of the way where corruption
on an ongoing commission.
No, it doesn't.
GALA commission. No, the GALA commission we never did. The other one, the TRRC, we never did until the party. I mean, people support us, yes, throwing stuff out there is there, but the party had never made a statement to preempt the finishing of the conclusion of the GALA commission or the TRRC. So this is the third commission, and I think they are following the same line.
Okay, well, we'll wait. Now, the other question that I have for you, you've said here that things are different now. It's different politics. It's not the UDP of the 1996 that was turned into maybe from a political party. It was based now pretty much a movement fighting against dictatorship. It was doing a lot of stuff. Now it's politics as usual.
Yeah.
And when it is politics as usual and people are in the same camp, there is nothing for people to aspire to lead or be a candidate for that party. Mm-hmm. What we have seen of late, a lot of brouhaha, because of some people believe that anybody who aspires to lead, to be the candidate of the UDP, other than Mr. Dabo, you are pretty much undermining the party. Do you think that, I'm going to name names, Talib Bensouda, or Yanks Dabo, or Bubacarr Sidiqi, or anybody else in the UDP, should have the right in the party to put their hands up and say, I'm going to challenge Mr. Dabo for the leadership, and will not get a blowback that like we are seeing. From I read a lot that you say, okay, I may not respond, but I read a lot that you say. I read what other people say. So anybody who doesn't say go Baba is a problem. You know, you are seen as, oh, Yunus Haidara in his camp, or Bubacarr Sidiqui is in an other camp, and all these things. But is it important that if you're talking about politics and a new type of politics, that people who are in the UDP and feel like they want to lead the party should be able to claim it openly or discreetly without being seen as being opportunistic or trying to undermine the unity in the party or anything else?
Okay. Another tough question, which I anticipated and is here. And
and I know you were expecting it coming from Musa.
Yeah, mostly from him. Now you brought him. I was expecting that from him, to be honest. Yeah, but nonetheless, it's here. I am prepared to answer it. First of all, to address the issue of the blowback, like if anybody has an ambition, are you going to get a blowback? So what I can tell you, and this has been my stance from day one, my stance was never. And people misconstrue me when I make this statement. They think I'm trying to say no Talib or anti-Ni. This is what they tell me as anti-Talib. I hate Talib. This is what they say. I'm a hater. All these weird, accusations, which is Talib and I anytime we see, is very cordial. See, I don't get to see him a lot. I don't really venture into that KMC and become area that Banjul. I'm always doing my own thing on my side here. So, but the idea of somebody challenging Usainu to be seen as Uncle Usainu as a backstabbing or something like that. That's never something that I subscribe to. What I subscribe to is very simple. There were movements or ideas that were emanating about 2023. That's when I first started making noise about this. I said, look, because it was mostly like, okay, Usainu or a Maninka candidate. Listen, this is where everything started. Usainu cannot be is unelectable. This was the idea. It's unelectable, and a Maninka candidate cannot, because of the last election. All the tribes came together. The mobile force said this, blah blah blah. So the defeat of 2021 was largely down to tribe. This is what there's a mindset within the party that believed it. And my belief about the defeat, Musa, is clear to you. And is Musa sleeping?
No, sleeping. I'm listening to you carefully.
Okay.
Every word you utter.
Yeah. My belief of the defeat, you and I had so many arguments with that. Mm-hmm. I said we were cheated because of the electoral fraud that happened with the registration of, I don't know, something million, and then also the 90% voter turnout was a clear indication of what happened. I was on that front, but there was people that were saying, no, Maninka Dumana, listen, we have to find another candidate that is not Maninka. This is where everything started. I said,
argument. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's there. So, and that was my first time to speak about this. I said, look, this is a dangerous take. It's a dangerous idea that we cannot let propagate and become something that we cannot control. I said, what we do, if you want something, if you want this flag bearer thing, let's make sure it goes to whoever wins it by merit, either by your qualifications, experience, your past experience, whatever administration where you are administrating, whatever it is, put yourself out there. This is me, this is who I am, this is my CV, this is why I think I'll make a better candidate. I appeal to this group, I appeal to that, put your stuff out there. But to come and say, to grow this idea that yes, we should look at another candidate other than the Maninka. This is where I draw the line. I said we cannot do that, because when you do that, you're alienating a whole section of society. There's a whole thousands of kids out there that can grow up in the Gambia thinking they have no chance in life at being president or being a leader anywhere, because already the idea is, yes, you cannot win. You have to hide behind somebody and win. I said, this is a bad idea. It's a dangerous idea. I was not against anybody. I said, but if you want it, go about it by merit. Put yourself out there. Right. And then if you don't want to do all that, let's say the party is used to a calendar system, we have to go primaries and, a few months before the elections, a year or something. Wait for that time. Okay? Wait for that time and then write. So I was never against, you going out there. And then also, since basically they said I'm a Talib hater, so I'll address it that way. It's not about hating anybody. Okay? We have systems. We have ways that we do things within the party. Outside of the party, yes, you can do whatever you want. But once you are in, you are in. So we cannot use tribe as a yardstick. But at the same time, also, if you want it, come out and say, I want this. Let people hear you. Let them know what you want. Put Uncle Hussein under pressure. Because now you're not hiding. You're putting it out there. There's no hiding. There's no going behind here. There's no, all of these shenanigans is not necessary. Leadership is not easy. It doesn't come on a silver platter. You got to fight for it.
Where the big boy
nobody's going to hand you leadership on a plate. It doesn't happen. I've been around too long to know all these things. So you go out there and fight for what you want. Nobody's going to insult you. Nobody's going to, try to think you are trying to, manipulate things. Just go. Apply. This was my last Facebook live that I did about a year ago, addressing this situation. So, and few months later, Uncle Usainu was at the Manjai Bureau. He repeated the same things that I said word by word. That's the day Karafasanko won the election, the re-election for the campaign manager. After the victory, Uncle Usainu held the mic. He looked at this guy. He looked at Karafa. He said, I'm giving you now a new task. The people that are within the party, outside of the party, that are saying Mandinka cannot be flag bearer because of this and that and that. Tell them. He said, go and tell them. Go back to those circles or whatever that it is and dismiss this dangerous idea. Because he said, because if you do it, if this idea takes foot, he looked around behind his back. He said, Lyman is sitting here. Yakumba Jare is sitting here. Ahmad Sane is sitting here. Lamin Sane, why is he sitting here? These are all qualified people. Now we've just brushed them all with all their knowledge, all their qualifications, zero because of who they are called themselves Mandinka. Mm-hmm. That is a disservice to the country, disservice to the party, and disservice to Gambia in general.
Definitely.
So this is the high-level conversations people need to have instead of diminishing everything to small nonsense. I don't respond to that kind of stuff because I don't have time. I don't think the intellectual capacity is there for me to engage at that level. But today, I can talk to you people because I've been around the block with you guys for a little bit. I believe I can have the conversation maturely and explain why I took certain decisions.
No,
this is exactly why I'm saying it's not hate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pettiness. It's not, Hussein is king, you want to be da. No, nobody is saying that. But you got to be a man. You got to be brave. You want to go for it. And I repeated this. Apply. Write. Talk about it. Nobody's going to kill you. Worst case scenario, people are going to say, you know what, Uncle Hussein, I think it's about time. You create a movement. Pressure. How are you going to put pressure on Uncle Hussein if you're just sitting there, going behind cycles, hiding here and there, buying this for the, all this little weird tough, stuff. That's not a sign of a brave leader. It's not easy. Leadership is not easy.
Yeah, well, Bubacarr, thank you very much. I know because we have some other guests waiting on the wing, so
Yes.
I'll let Musa go. But I just wanted to make one clarification. I see UDP TV and media today. I think they're here. How much did you pay the one behind this thing today?
Hey,
The keyboard.
coach,
I'm just kidding.
coach,
Yes.
coach. Sorry. I came to the point
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say
very
this
late
before you
because
come in.
I'm busy
You,
today.
you, you said you did
Right.
50 million.
So
How much did I
No,
pay
no,
them?
no. I'm joking. I don't know who is behind the counter here. I don't know how much you pay him, but they you know. But here is what I wanted to see. I'm fully aware that the UDP has a leader, an elected leader. The Secretary General of the UDP is Honorable Usainu Dabo. Let me say His Excellency, so that Boy Fatih would have something to say. His Excellency Usainu, Numukunda Dabo. But what UDP has not had yet is a flag bearer. And this is why the party has also asked people to apply for it. So I'm fully aware of the processes of the UDP and how they select their candidates and all that. UDP TV media, I'm just joking. You don't have to take me seriously.
Bubacarr, I have a really follow up, but I want to allow my colleague Sariang Marong. He just came on.
Yeah.
Sariang, go ahead.
It's called Sariang, not Sariang.
all right. Hey, thank you, Bubacarr, for coming on. I just joined because I have a prior engagement. So my question to you is: I listened to you. You answer the questions. My follow-up question is the controversy. Bubacarr writes a lot, and Bubacarr becomes polarizing. And I'm not trying, but this is an opportunity. And even Yankuba, chairman, said there were several times you, Bio, and him were summoned at the party leader's house to have a conversation. And if people see what Bubacarr write on Facebook, they attach you with all sort of adjectives or titles or names that Musa kind of alluded. But I want you to take some time and explain to people, because I said this 3 weeks ago on the program. I said, I used to know you in Seattle. And when I see some of the postings, I kind of question, is this the Bubacarr I know back in the days and had lunch in Seattle together? But take some opportunity, tell people about your background. Because I think if they see Jammeh, they just think that Bubacarr is from Jara. But who is your mom? What connection do you have with other folks? That way people can really, really understand who you are and what you stand for. And more importantly, I think 2026 is very, very crucial, and it's not gonna be a cakewalk.
Sorry, I dropped a little bit. I'm back.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Did you hear all my questions?
Yeah. As soon as you were about to start the actual question, I got a call, so I had to drop it off. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, Bubacarr, I
You say
want to follow.
let's say you know me in Seattle as a cougar, but when people see my writings, they attach it to something. That's where
Okay. So I said they sort of attach all type of titles to Bubacarr.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at is, who is Bubacarr? Your dad is from Sikunda Jara, but a lot of people don't know who your mom is. And I think there is a real conversation here that somehow I don't represent. I know your dad since he was an MP back in the days when you were very young.
Yeah.
But I think the conversation needs to tell the world, who are you? Who are some of your uncles, your mom's side? Where does your mom hail off? Because I think it's very, very important. All of us. If I sit on this platform, I get tagged all along. But those people don't know me personally. They don't know my values. But I want you to take opportunity, Bubacarr, to explain to the viewers and the listeners, who is Bubacarr? Besides Sikunda and UDP, your mom's side, who has your uncles? What are your values? Your inner connection with all the tribes in the Gambia. Can you explain that to the viewers, please?
Yeah, very
Wow.
good.
Thank you.
Real quick. It's a very powerful question. You kind of answered part of it at the beginning. So please, because we have another group that is coming, but yes, but do answer it. It's a very important question, especially the one dealing with your mother side.
Thank you. And sorry, and this is very important because I think it's good that these things come up because they say I get a lot of titles. My father, Kisha Jammeh. My mother is her name is Fatu Conte, and she's half Malian. My dad is Malian. His mom is Gambian. Mom is Jola, named Mariama Jata. Christian Jola before became Muslim, so it's like a Jola Nyago mix. And I grew up in a household of a very diverse backgrounds. My mom, raised in Banjul, born in Banjul, was born in Biam, but raised in Banjul, went to school in Banjul, high school, was a classmate of Lady Adela Sose and so many other great women of this country, St. Joseph's College, Gambia College, and all that. Her cousins, she grew up with her cousins who were Christians in Banjul, went through the whole process. And I also kind of grew up in that circle. Grew up in Jara. I didn't grow up in Jara, I was born in Serekunda. Spent holidays in Jara a lot. And parts of my Christmas holidays with my Christian family and my Jola Christian family. So I got this both sides to me. My grandfather on my mom's side is half Fula, half Malian. So I got some cousins on that side too. My friendship is as diverse as anybody can be. I am as diverse as any can be, and you cannot put me in any tribe and then leave one behind. So when I talk, I don't do tribe. I sit with everyday people that are from diverse backgrounds, Fullers, Jolas. These are my friends that I've been together with since, 30, 40 years. Okay, so I cannot possibly be who they think I am. I know those sentiments will come because of sometimes, you say certain things, it's deeply, contrary to what other people believe in, and they term you and they want to put in a bottle. They want to basically use the whole UDP anti-Maninka label on you because that's already there. So whenever you UDP, you are Maninka. You're Maninka, you are UDP. That kind of synonymity, I don't fit into that. So I have my convictions, I have my beliefs, and I told Musa here my convictions, my political school of thought is the NCP / DOI, because I went to DOI Nyakwe school. We are the one that started the first batch of DOI Nyakwe in 1980, I think 86 or something. We didn't have a uniform at that time. I was about 3 years old. My dad was good friends with Uncle Samsar and Ami Silla. Their household, his kids, Nyaga, Omo, Coach, all of them, right? These are the people that I used to play with until I was my age of 8, 9. When DOI used to have rallies, we had one that. So exactly, Sol, Omo, Njaga, yeah. See, when DOI used to have rallies, we had one that used to go and pour water at Teleninja Johnson or whatever, so the dust would come down before the actual rally starts. So I did all this. I've been through the whole thing, and you can't tell me anything about this Gambian politics. I just don't like to talk about it too much. I have other things to do. But if we come sit here pound for pound, a lot of people are talking about me. They don't know what the hell is going on. But I don't have time to school them. I don't have that time. I don't have that connection with them. I don't have that personal thing with them. Coach is here. Coach is a big factor why I'm
Okay, Buba, thank you. I want to follow up. I got one more question because I saw your answer about corruption, and every morning, as everyone said, I read your post, but I don't comment on it. Adama Barrow, President Adama Barrow, this massive corruption in Pape. But now, even though there is ongoing commission, and it's not conclusive. And I believe in this mentality or the motto, firm, but be fair, but firm. Now, revelations coming up, especially BCC. As an opposition party and as the face of the opposition party, are you concerned about those? And what would be your stand? If you repudiate one wrongdoing, you should be able to stand firmly and repudiate other wrongdoings. You don't have to, you know where it's going. We all watch it. We've seen the answers. But what do you have to say to such revelations that are daunting and that calls into the honesty and integrity of some of these leaders in these municipalities?
Well, I think I've answered that question here, Mr. Jang, Coach.
Yeah.
Maybe you were not, the same question was asked, and I spent about 5 minutes answering that question. But I will, for your sake, I'll basically brush over it quickly. What I said was
just to let you know, I listened to your answers, and I think they are more political. It's not. I like you to be a straight shooter. I want you to say, Claire, the reason I answered the question, I asked the question again. I really think you could answer that better for the viewers and your followers that follow you on day-to-day basis. Just to let you know.
No. You know how to call it. Usually, if you follow my Facebook page, you'll know how I deal with these kind of situations. So, like I was saying, as a party or as myself, these are serious allegations. They're very serious allegations that are emanating from there. And I also know there's an ongoing commission going. Okay, I'm a part of a political setup. I'll call myself a part-time politician. I'm not a full-fledged politician. I support. I make my points clear, but I'm not like a office-seeking kind of politician. But I belong in a political setup. I don't want to go on a firefight right now with my own party leaders that are in these councils that are being adversely mentioned. Okay. Yes, we recognize it. We acknowledge what's happening. And at the end of, very, very soon, by November, hopefully this thing will be over, a report will be put. If there's anything that's conclusively the evidence that this what happened against my party members, we will do the needful. I'm not going to shy away from that. That's for sure. So I will wait for that.
Wait for that. All right. Bubacarr, time is running out. Thank you, Sarian. And I wanted to really do a follow-up on the detailed answer that you gave to Pasana.
Most, I want to ask a question. How much longer do we have? Because those people are waiting on the wing.
Maybe this is the last question, but I think this is very important.
Okay, go ahead.
And like Imangi Danka Fananal, and then you came and stole my thunder. Bubacarr, you gave an answer by basically saying that most people, and I'm going to be very honest here, that people are saying that people don't want to support Senou Dabo's candidacy because he's a Mandinka. Bring a Mandinka and you will lose an election. First, my question is, who said that? Because people are saying, politicians like Bubacarr, they're using that as a defensive mechanism. No one has ever said that unless they're idiots. The first president we had was President Jawara. The last time I checked, a Mandinka. The current president, the last time I checked, a Mandinka. So why would anyone say that you put up a Mandinka candidate and that you will lose? So people are saying politicians like you are basically using that in a very deflective way.
Okay.
Say that, hold on, because this is going to be a loaded question and you will answer all of them together because time is running out.
Yep.
Now, you said things like, wear your big pants, in other words. Come out, be bold. You want to be the leader. Now, some people are saying, as there is we're all looking forward to a process within the UDP, process of who is going to be the flag bearer. Some say the United Democratic Party calling for a new way of doing business, democracy, and all of that. Some are saying, myself included, if all the aspiring candidates are saying, if Usaino puts in his application, we are not going to compete. Some are saying, if that is the deal, you cannot have a legitimate, at least it cannot be deemed as very legitimate process. It's just like a charade, because there won't be any competition. Again, and I want you to kind of answer to that. And someone's saying, if Usaino were to step aside and then allow all these aspiring candidates, because you're saying you have a process, and I know you do, because you had a candidate at Bikama Area Council. You started out not very popular, but you guys ended up winning because of that same process. And someone's saying, if you use that same process and then allow everybody to compete, and then a candidate is selected and everybody supports that candidate, then if you stand and say, UDP, we have a process and we are democratic, people will believe it. Can you tell me, is it possible for Usaino to step aside and then you still have a process and then all of you will still be part of the United Democratic Party? Again, you can choose the way you, I've said a lot of things.
Okay, no. So it's a two-part question. The first part is where the people are saying the Bubacarr Jammeh of the world are being manipulative, trying to use that idea that somebody is saying.
Who's saying a
yeah, okay, who's saying it? So if you what do you tell them? Whoever is saying that, tell them, yes, no, Bubacarr is a crazy guy. Take me out of the picture. I'm crazy, I'm sick, I don't know what I'm saying. Is Usaino Dabo crazy and sick? Don't know what you're saying? No. He took the mic, stood at the Manjai Bureau, the day Karafa Sonko won the last election for the campaign chairman. He said, and I quote, I told men kakumol for banta, and in particular men kafoko, manding kota kenola jang, flag bearati. Karafa Sonko mal sasila, alta aliyo kumo bay. Akafodami kumo kunta aliyo kumo bay, go kumala men ko nas na lo jang, at bete ala banko retam, pantu kadula kam mole alienate, mole bijang, albe melanko, will take a fenty banko because of your idea.
Right.
This is speaking, not Bubacarr Jammeh, the manipulated crazy guy. This is the party leader speaking. So take me out of the picture. I may be sick, I might be crazy. Whatever they think of me, fine, thank you. But I didn't say it alone.
But who?
No, hold on. Usaino said it.
What I'm saying?
No, listen, that's the first part. Usaino said it. No. Usaino said it. Now let them. So whatever. No. Whatever opinion of this people that are saying, what is their opinion of Usaino Dabo? That's up to them. Now. If they think he's crazy and manipulative,
all
fine.
I'm saying is
so
this?
I didn't say it alone.
No, Bilal, I have to pressure.
So Usaino wouldn't say that out of a vacuum.
My question is.
So if he said it, then it's real. So now we move to the next question.
No, hold on. No. I'm going to press on this one. You said it's been said.
He said it.
Hold on, my brother. There are crazy people on Facebook, and they make their analysis.
For the Jawla said you said it.
I know.
No.
For the people, by the people, for the. I saw his comment later. I will never say that because then I'll be an idiot. I will never. I'm much more sophisticated than that. But what I'm saying is, I really want to know: is it based on analysis on Facebook, or is it within your own United Democratic Party that having your strategic meeting and they said, "Oh, we cannot put up a Mandinka because that Mandinka will lose."
No. Usaino, no. What I know is what Usaino know. What I heard is what he heard. These are things that we are dealing with internally. You will never know that.
Don't hide behind Usaino. I'm talking about
no. I'm not hiding. I said he said it. So take me out of that. You said. He also said it.
You said no. Take Usaino out of it. You are the one.
Okay, of course I cannot. We agreed on the same thing. So whatever I heard, he had the same thing.
You said people are saying. I mean, and after looking at the last two presidents we have, they're Mandinkas. Now,
yes.
So where did you hear people saying that if UDP put up a Mandinka candidate, they cannot win? Who said that?
Internally.
Yes.
I'm not going to give you names. But I'm not going to and I'm not crazy, but I know Usaino is also not crazy for saying the same thing. So let's keep it that way. He's not crazy. He's smart. He is more informed than I am. He said it in public in the Manja Bureau. So it's something that he himself lived among his own people. So let's leave it at that. Then the idea that are people going to be bold and come and try to challenge and everything?
Big pants.
This thing is never going to be
You see that you are referring to Talib Bensouda, that somehow he's doing something.
No. Don't go there. I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
An opportunity for you.
I'm very explicit. Yes. I'm telling you exactly what and then what Hussein also said. Hussein was referring to somebody. No. I cannot be. I cannot take him out of it because we say the same thing.
We're asking you questions.
Yeah, and I'm qualifying my answer for it to make sense to you. The people that are saying that I may be crazy, but Hussein was not crazy, and he said these same things because of stuff that he's hearing internally. It's not an external matter, but he told them. He said, "Go and fix this problem. We cannot have this kind of idea, this dangerous idea emanating from this party."
So is that an internal thing then?
Of course it is. It's an internal matter.
Okay.
And so this is it. So now the notion that yes, the second part of it, like where people
The second part was it will be very difficult to have a legitimate or an appearance of a legitimate process. If everybody else is saying if Mr. Dabo applies, I will not apply. All of them are saying that. How can that be seen as a legitimate process?
Well, the people that are saying that, I'm not quite sure why they are saying that. But I believe if you really, really want this, it's never going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You got to fight for it. This is my belief. Why they are saying all that? Are they being politically, whatever? That's their own. I'm not there when they're saying it. But I believe Lee can go ahead noon.
I believe that too.
Wow. So whatever the future holds, let's all watch.
Bubacarr, like I said here the other time, if they want it, let them wear their big boy pants.
And I wanna comment on my good friend. Thank you, Jaula, for coming on for the people by the people.
Jaula has been watching on the window. So Bubacarr has gotten everybody out today.
I took out Jaula, and I said, and I've said this for years, to win an election, you have to be likable and you have to be an exciting candidate. You translate that to mean, oh, you should not be a Mandinka. Now, I don't know how you can take what I said.
You and for been going at this since 2014.
Oh,
so it's been a long time. So we'll let you guys continue.
Just to clarify, that's not what I mean. And you can, as long as you're likable, here in the United States, likable candidate.
Good. I think to help you on that, the issue of likability and things like that, it's not even about likability. I think politics is about relatability. See, yesterday I saw a post by Alma Metal. He said, how can the world, America, for all this blah, 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 select and, very nasty, whatever, Donald Trump. And I almost went over there and said, I was going to say something smart, I was more personal. That's for the Americans to worry about. That's their problem, not your problem. So because we, in America, they have their own little things. You can call it tribalism. In our case, you call it tribalism. You know why? They are culturally different.
Yes.
The Appalachians in West Virginia, in the Appalachian Mountains, you know what I'm talking about.
People, yes.
Those people over 100 years, they will never align with California and Oregon and Washington State when it comes to voting.
Absolutely.
No Democrat presidential candidate is going to waste your money to go campaign in West Virginia, Mississippi, Kansas, Kentucky, Alabama, and all these weird places.
Kentucky now.
Well, Kentucky is garbage. So no Democrat is going to waste their money to go campaign there. Because what kind of people are living there? That's the Bible Belt. You don't know who they are. So you're wasting your time, right? So, but no Republican also.
We have to bring
let me finish here. Because this is context. No Republican is also going to waste their money to go campaign in my state, Washington State, or California, or Washington. They'll be like, you are crazy. You're wasting your money. You never win. Culturally, we don't align. we're not traditional. We're not the same people. My Washington latte sipping, liberals cannot see eye to eye with Kentucky, and they'll never be the same. But that doesn't mean they are stupid. That doesn't mean they are tribals. That's just who they are. They care about their guns and their religion and their Bible. Me in Washington State, we don't care about Bible. We don't go to church. We don't care about God.
The gold plates too. They care about
you. So we are not the same. So that doesn't mean I'm gonna denigrate the other side and call them names and then make them look like they are stupid. Oh, what are they doing? This stupid American. No, they are not stupid. They don't care about what you care about. They care about guns. You care about human rights. I'm like, I don't care about human rights. I don't care about your international nonsense that I'm going to give you some donation in Gambia. I don't want to donate to you. I'm going to close down USAID. I'm going to keep my money. This is what they believe, and they voted for Trump. So you cannot call them stupid. In Gambia, we call you stupid. Oh, keep them together. Oh, no, that's why I stopped doing that. I used to do that. Oh, Sierra, blah, blah, blah. Kaur. Your cousin, your nephew. Then I go to Panjang all the time. I see all this. I'm like, dude, you're saying guy, but the more I go there, the more I interact with Panjang people, all these people. I'm like, okay, that's just what they believe. You're doing content guru. I can't do anything with that.
What can you? So, Bubacarr, what next for Bubacarr? Because seriously, people believe that, again, you are the son of Kisha Jammeh. There's absolutely no doubt that politics is in you. So what next for Bubacarr? Are you going to be running for the National Assembly? Are you going to be running for... I mean, are you even going to apply when the application... the application was supposed to
be honest with you, Musa, I need some time. I have to work on myself. I am not too social. I'm not a very good people person right now. America has kind of messed up my head. What my father and people, what they do is going there, and then I do go in the village. I do things, but what it takes to win an election? Yeah, I don't think I'm ready. I'll need some little bit of time. Maybe the next couple of years, I'll be more acclimated to the cultural. I travel a lot. I'm gonna tell you, we go to Jagale all the time. Yeah. I'm crisscrossing the country, knowing who I am and what my people are, who my people are.
So a couple of years
right now, you want to put them in frame like that. I like an electoral kind of a campaign. The temperament, what you need, it takes a lot, Musa. You cannot do it. If I take it to Kaurana, you lose very, very badly.
Oh, I lose very badly.
You don't know how to talk to people.
Nobody's going to vote for him.
I seriously know that.
Buba, I think these are two walls that you are now struggling with.
Sorry, Musa. Before you go, this crazy guy here, Mamoudou Kalaji, he's an older man. I have a lot of respect for him. He's been denigrating my name for the past 5 years. I ignored him. I blocked him. I did everything. He's still here saying I get whatever I say is what Usmani is thinking. I get information from my father. See, this kind of let's educate this kind of toxic-minded people. I lived with him in Seattle. I barely see this guy. I probably saw him 1 or twice at July 4th. He's on my case 24/7. It doesn't bother me. But here is also here accusing me of taking information from my father. Whatever I say is what Usain is hiding in it. I barely see Usain Dabo. I don't go to pipeline. I'm too busy. Right. Worry about your truck driving and then live your life. Leave me alone. You are 100 times, older than me. Even on this for ages, I think it's about time you cool down. I've blocked you everywhere. Everywhere I see you, I block. I don't even waste time.
So you are the blocker in chief.
I blocked over no. I have blocked over 2,000 people, and I'll give you reasons why. I'll give you clear reasons why. It's not about sometimes I'll block you. How do you call it? Preemptive blocking. Sometimes I look at you, I'm like, this guy is out of his mind. I don't want anybody to come across him. I just block you without even be my friend. I do a lot of that. So you see, or you go like,
we have these the GALA folks are going to be joining us soon. But we thank you. We're going to bring you back again. I really wanted us to get into it, but it is what it is.
Bubacarr, thank you for joining us. Definitely, you know,
we definitely enjoy it.
And I really appreciate the chance, opportunity to at least speak my mind and explain myself. Even though I don't like to use that word, explain myself. I don't need to explain myself to anybody. Right. But there's a lot of misconception about me. Right. And I think maybe today a lot of people will walk out of here to know that I'm not this crazy guy. They try to make me look like some MAGA guy, some Ku Klux Klan, Mandinka nationalist. Because if I'm American nationalist, what is my cousin, my uncle, Robbie Mendy gonna think about? He's watching right now. You know, all of these people. Who am I nationalism against? My own people, my own cousins that I went to first communion with. Does that make sense?
No, let me tell you something, Bubacarr. You cannot go to Nyakoi and be a nationalist. So we framed it very well. So
let's say maybe not a nationalist, but a far right.
MAGA. Muna the MAGA wing of the UDP. But Bubacarr again.
No,
MAGA is making Gambia great again.
Well, Buba, thank you so very much. And you know, it was a nice conversation.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And greetings to the to Kevin Singh, you know, a great guy. And to my comrade, Youngs Dabo, the man who's doing his thing, you know.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
He said hi. He said, let me say hi to you guys. He said, no, brother, come on. When you go, tell them, you know, I say hi, you know, but just
the British accent.
Just calm down, you know. He thinks I'm crazy. Look, I'm not crazy. Don't coach me. Everybody's calling me. Balake. Everybody's calling, hey, Bob, you know, can I call you? So you guys, even my own people are calling me, telling me, please.
I know what it is, Buba. They were thinking that you'll come here and say, you don't see your me. Oh, Buba, don't say anything that will just create an order chaos because
calls everywhere, bro. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Am I crazy? No, you know. Yeah, like, dude, come on, man. I'm not that bad, man. I'm good. I'm not stupid. You know, I'm anything but not stupid.
But they think you're crazy. They thought that you'll come here and this evil Musa Jeng will make you say something.
Of course, because you set a trap, you know, you try to put me. But Serian, hi, Mr. Serian.
Aye, man. We need to bring
Serian here.
GALA. No, the GALA guys are here. So,
the GALA guys, no, Aluba, and GALA's here.
All right.
Yep. Thank you so very much, Bubacarr.
We'll talk, man. Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Up Samba.
Yes, sir.
Good conversation, you know. People get
yes.
Just like I expected. Having Bubacarr will definitely bring not only a lot of people to the platform, but then we will talk about and give him an opportunity to as well. To you know, we all do have our own public persona. And it's always helped to come and make clarifications, you know.
Oh, yes.
Something that we setting traps. We don't set any traps. We just ask the questions that people are out there asking. Seriously.
No, that's just what it is. And, you know, we cannot also just bring here people and just have a kumbaya. We ask the questions and you answer the questions. Bubacarr is a smart guy. He knows how to answer anything. But Musa, the GALA guys are here. But before saying that, you see, Musa, today I am representing Jufure.
Yes.
Know. Musa, one thing is, I know, not to advertise for them. These people great job that they're doing. My God. I have lived in the West for a very long time. I've known you've lived in the West before I was born. But the quality of their material. The
quality is from Gambia?
Yeah, they're Jufure. It's a Gambian brand, you know, that they make. I think he lives in Sweden or somewhere. And the thing is, whenever they're out,
right,
within minutes, it's finished. You know, but I have my connections. So I just wanted to give shout out to Jufure for these great things. And this is like mother's sacrifice. So I'm wearing this in memory of my grandmom, Awolo Merawa. Yeah. But anyway, are the GALA guys on? There's somebody on.
They need to pay some money.
Who?
Giving them free advertisement.
I'm not a capitalist.
The Jufure people,
Yeah, who is on most?
Nobody. I mean, I think they drop off. Oh, there's this Omar Kamara.
Yeah. Omar, you can say something. Don't be scared.
No. I didn't bring him on. He's on now.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared, actually.
Okay. Omar sounds like somebody who has a British accent there.
Maybe this GALA.
No.
These GALA people are never scared. Omar, welcome to the 40 People by the People.
Thank you. I'm sorry, 1 minute. I will have to shift to my phone so that I'm seen.
Yeah, there is somebody else with you.
Is somebody else coming?
Hey, UDP TV, you cannot just say good night. You better stay and listen to GALA too. What is this? You want to go? Yes, boss, but that was a good one. And of course, as we wait for these young people, GALA to come, which is Gambians against looted assets.
Yes.
And I think if there is one thing that has continued to hamper the development of our country, corruption. But we'll leave it to them. And my God, and here he is with a Real Madrid uniform.
Yes.
But Omar, welcome to the 40 People by the People.
All right, thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you well.
All right, thank you, Musa, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Musa, and thank you, Pa, for having us here. I've been a fan. I've been following, especially Pa. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Not I'm offended. You starting on the a fan, and then you say
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Listen,
Musa, probably I don't follow you a lot of time. That's why I said that. But
Omar,
okay, you're all my favorite now. You're all
No. Omar, it doesn't work. Musa has a problem with activists. Very soon he'll call you an activist on steroids. So believe me. But Omar, GALA, you guys are planning on doing a protest. And yesterday I was thinking about something. In the history of the Gambia, this is the first time ever that I've seen a group of people come together to organize a protest against corruption. We've had protests in the country before. The Senghor protest of the 70s, which Musa Jeng participated in. The 1987 protest for school bus, which I was in the middle of. The kids protesting and being killed by Jammeh because of somebody was raped. We've had all these protests, electoral reform, but this was the first time ever in the history of our country where Gambians come together and said we are protesting against corruption. Tell us a little bit about GALA. Tell us what your role is there and why the need for this initiative.
All right, thank you very much, Pa. First, my name is Omar Kamara, commonly known as Omar Saibo, and I am the spokesperson of Gambians Against Looted Assets. It's important that you bring the historical context of protests against various issues in the Gambia, but on an exception, there has not been an absolute protest that actually focus on corruption, even though probably all of the protests you have mentioned indirectly must have talked about corruption, because electoral reforms, legal reforms, and all of that at the end of the day perpetuate what will end up being corruption. However, if you understand the Gambia after 2016, we have gone through both human rights violation and financial embezzlement for 22 years or plus, maybe from the First Republic. And we came together collectively to change the government in 2016. And because we want to usher ourselves into a new republic, a republic with new hopes, with new aspirations, a republic that will serve for the purpose of the people, a republic that we know that public servants will deliver services to the people, to uplift the lives of the people, for people to live in a dignified life, just like any other country, just like it happens anywhere else. And 2016 moving forward, the amount of U-turn we took in this country to take the worst part that we had, aside from the direct killings and human rights violations that happened through Jammeh's time, is unacceptable. From 2017 to date, 8 years, 9 years down the line, The borough administrators have been characterized by highest corruption, embezzlement of state resources, disregard for the rule of law, lack of accountability, lack of transparency, and fundamentally, for any governance system to work for its purpose, it must be anchored on the principles of accountability, transparency, and the rule of law, and that absolutely fight against corruption. And this were the promise, the campaign promises we had, that Jammeh was corrupt. We are going to fight corruption. Jammeh was, violating our rights. We're going to ensure that human rights violations are eradicated, are erased. Legal reforms are put in place, and a lot more. Past 8 years to our transition, we cannot even have a new constitution. The TRC recommendations are still lying down there. The Jammeh Commission is being investigated by another commission. That shows you how our collective fights and efforts in 2016 to end dictatorship, to end corruption, to end bad governance, to end the blatant disregard for the rule of law have not been materialized. On the basis of this, whilst we cry for all of this, and now that we said, okay, Jammeh was A, B, and C, he used state resources to enrich himself. And now we need to investigate and ensure where each of our dollars he went to, where he got those cows from, where he got those $1 million cash from, where he built a mansion in the United States. Whose money did he use to build that? Because when Jammeh was coming to power, probably his salary was not more than $100, for example, if history, right? Or $400, $500, sorry for that. And how did he become a millionaire, one of the richest presidents in Africa when he was living in 2017? For this being the case, we established the Jammeh Commission. And the purpose of the Jammeh Commission is to show Gambians how our state resources have been embezzled, how corruption have been deep-rooted into our system, and how one man manipulates state resources to enrich himself and become so powerful that he can kill, he can buy, he can do whatever he wants to do in the Gambia. Guess what? Those assets in transitional justice process, we call them asset recovery. And when we talk about asset recovery in transitional justice, is to use those resources now to rebuild a broken society. Because wherever you hear transitional, they're meaning there have been either a war or an authoritarian regime where people were broken and states were broken. And now we need to use that money to rebuild the society, a broken society, to ensure that the victims of the Jammeh regime are reparated, to ensure that we build better roads, we build better schools, we build better hospitals, we build the infrastructure that will serve for the right purposes of the country. And then all of a sudden, an investigative report popped out on the sales and the management of those resources, of those assets. And to our surprise, that the state that was supposed to use those assets to better serve for its purpose, in turn, use those assets to wanted them like it belongs to nobody. Because if they thought it was the Jammeh assets, they were mistaken. The day the Jammeh left this country and those assets were frozen and were recovered, it has turned automatically to state resources, to state assets. And therefore, they were supposed to be managed, controlled, sold on the procedures of how a state will manage and then sells its properties and assets. And that report triggers a group of young people from nowhere on a Sunday, Monday, came together and said, look, I don't think we can continue watching President Barrow and this government to continue to steal from the Gambian people, to continue to ensure that they take excuses for corruption, looting state resources, embezzling state properties and all of that. And then we came together to call for a protest. And that was a moment for us. It was a moment to mobilize, to speak up, to demand for accountability and transparency on the sales and disposals of the Jammeh assets. When we went out on the 8th of May, 2025, without permit, we seek for permit and our permit was rejected and we went out. We were seated and brewing attire just like the normal citizen will sit at the Makati Square or at the Arch or at the Bantaba to brew attire. They came and picked us. We did not protest. We did not process. We did not have a PS system. We have not violated any public order act section. All what we did was, okay, we were gathering to march, but we didn't march. We were sitting there, and we had a right to go to Banjul and sit at the arch, and they picked us. And that led to one of, probably I would call, the most successful uprising. Maybe not to the level of a higher one, but when we were behind bars, Gambians came out in their high numbers to demand for our release and continue to demand for answers that we seek to ask, and then on the sales and then the disposal of the Jammeh assets. When we came out, GALA become that people's movement, people's hope, people's aspiration. Every Gambian, every genuine Gambian, let me rephrase that. Every genuine Gambian who is very concerned about the state of this nation, if you come to corruption, if you come to lack of service delivery, if you come to incompetence in leadership, embrace GALA as a survivor for the Gambian people. And we sit back as a people and we seek for the advice of the general public. What do you want GALA to do next? They said they want GALA to be an anti-corruption movement. On the basis of this, we emerge as an anti-corruption movement that seeks to ask questions and demand for answers on how state resources have been used. Because I was in Chakunda yesterday as a guest speaker to a basic cycle school, and then a grade 9 student who, before I entered Chakunda, it took me 1 hour, less than 10 kilometers because how bad the road was. In her speech, she said to her colleagues that they need to take their education seriously to ensure that they save this country from the few people that share the national cake at the expense of their parents' taxes. That brought to me that even a young person as far as 350 kilometers away from State House know that their parents' taxpayers have been misused in this country. But today, people pay tax and it's not reflecting in them. Aids and grants are borrowed in our name, are received in our names, but it doesn't reflect in the life of an ordinary Gambian in the market, at the hospital, at the school, at the roads, and everywhere. And then this is what GALA seeks to change. GALA
All right, so this is what I need to ask. You did a massive protest. The next day, Gambians came out in droves. Even with the threat of arrest, Gambians came out. In fact, I was just telling Musa Jang yesterday, some of my nieces and nephews, when they told me they were at Westfield at the protest, I'm like, okay, now it's all over. Because I never thought they would participate in that. The government reacted, produced a report. The National Assembly, by your action, decided to also have an inquiry into the matter. Some people will be asking, then why are you going out again on the 23rd to have a protest when everything that you've asked for so far is in motion? There is an investigation into the matter and all that thing. Is it an overkill? But what is the motivation of going out again on the 23rd, given everything that you've achieved so far?
So thank you very much. That's a very important question. So GALA have moved from a moment to a movement, and then we are moving forward an anti-corruption movement. And if you look at the demands for the new protest that we seek to stage on Wednesday, it's not absolutely on the Jammeh asset anymore, because if the process is going, ideally we allow the process to continue. And we have seen the report, even though we have released a statement by them that we do not trust in the report, the list, and we feel that there are some serious omissions, or quickly, because we pressured the government, they went and brought any kind of list to us. That is one. But two, the fact that the matter is being investigated again, GALA is following the process, and we are keenly following and ensuring that we have every bit of that. The protest now is on the basis of the daily general corruption and corruption scandals that continue to emerge in this country. First, recently, I am sure you follow issues very well. You must agree with me that what has come out of the investigations of the Russian oil scandal is madness. If you could sit in this country and and think public officials entrusted to run the affairs of a state could be involved in such a corruption deal is going to be mind-blowing, Pa and Musa. So the protest now is not about the assets whilst we follow them. The protest is about all the other corruptions that have been happening in this country, and the main or the central have been inspired by the National Assembly investigative report on the corruption scandal. Pa, if you go to the hospital today, you're going to have paracetamol, but somebody, a public official, can be bribed 600 million per month in this country, or 600,000 per month in this country, if I'm right. Police been ordered to discontinue or interfere with investigation of that magnitude. State ministers been directly involved. That is something that has to stop, because at the end of the day, it has to be somebody to speak up, to ensure that the government know that they are watching that is happening. Second, how many audit reports have been submitted to the National Assembly, adopted by the National Assembly? Serious corruption allegations and scandals emerge. No, the president, not any authority responsible for accountability will hold anybody accountable. But the only time I absolutely saw the president take an action, or the government took an action on a corruption scandal here, is the Banjang case, the PS for one of the ministry, I think Minister of Physics or something. And what happened? After a few months, he put that guy part of his presidential pardon. That shows you how President Barrow continue to take excuses for corruption in this country. And that is why GALA is coming up. This is a general protest to demand for serious actions against current corruption scandals, and then even wants to come that anytime there is a corruption scandal, investigate it, report produced, recommendations made. We must ensure that those recommendations are implemented. People implicated in those reports are held accountable, because at the end of the day, no country that abhor and entertain and support corruption will ever progress. A country who doesn't care about accountability and transparency will never have an efficient and effective governance system, because at the end of the day, how you run the state, how you manage our resources must be clear, and you must be held accountable for those. So it's not about the assets anymore. It's about all of the corruption scandal on our list, the audit reports, the oil scandal, the GFF corruption, and all other corruption. And then why we diversified this before I end is this. We don't want, if you want to protest about every corruption scandal in this country, every month we'll protest. Every month. And now what we do, this is a general one to launch individual protests. After Wednesday, those who are interested in football and football development can continue with the GFF. Those who are interested in A can continue with A. Those who are interested in B can continue with B. So aside the GALA protest, we just a moment, now we are launching a nationwide protest for continuity of demanding for freedom, for respect for the rule of law and accountability. Yes, Musa.
Absolutely. Again, thank you very much, Omar. Thank you. I've been listening to you very carefully. And if there is one thing that we all can agree with you, is that corruption is a huge problem in the country. And it's been a huge problem going all the way back to independence. And there is a phrase that I kind of wrote down, and I call it youthful exuberance. And if there is one thing that I can detect, is when you say GALA is seen as the inspiration and the hope of the Gambian people, that they demand support what you guys are doing. How did you guys come to that conclusion? That the entire country somehow are inspired because of GALA? Is it youthful exuberance? How do you guys come to that conclusion? That you are the hope of the country when it comes to fighting corruption? How did you guys come to that conclusion, Omar?
Okay, so that must be a difficult question, Musa. But I tell you that the reaction from the Gambian people and the embracement, or how they embrace the GALA protest and post-protest conversations will tell you that not every Gambian will agree with GALA, but most Gambians feel like GALA is that one hope that they have been looking for, just like how Pa
How do you know that?
No, that's what I'm telling you. I am telling you, I am the one on the ground. I am part of GALA, and I walk on the streets. Even this morning, I walk on the streets. Two men came to me and say, "Look, I know you from somewhere. Where do you know me? Are you not GALA?" Yes. Ñun sen gannaaw. Yéen loo leen nekk di def nii moom loolu moo war because ñun dañ sona. And then I traveled after the GALA protest to Europe. I entered a train in Rome, and then somebody was looking at me, and then I get off the train. The person get off the train, three of them, and tell me, "Saibo, GALA, yes, you're doing a great job back at home. We are proud of you." So if I say Gambian people is not absolute, because we not do any survey to have a statistic on that, but through public interaction, through public reaction, we can affirm you that most Gambians have find GALA as the people's movement that should anchor their voices in demanding for accountability and transparency and the fight against corruption.
So just a follow-up. There's a scheduled protest the 23rd, right?
Yes.
Is that going to give you an indication whether the people are with you, or is just few young people going out there and just talking on social media? Are you going to use this to see whether you're actually representing the aspiration of the Gambian people, if I may ask? Are you going to use that as a...
So Musa, so we are clear, we are not doing a test game.
I'm sorry?
We are not doing a test game.
Thank you.
Oh, no,
I'm coming. I will answer your question. We are going out on Wednesday not to do a test game, but to continue demanding for accountability and transparency. Mm-hmm. And then we are hopeful that the kind of suffering, lack of service delivery, inefficiency, incompetence, and corruption in this country felt by every Gambian, home and abroad, will join us. No, let me land. Let me answer your question. Will join us in ensuring that the protest is successful. But to say whether the protest is going to be the survey or a research field to determine whether Gambians are with us, somebody can sit at his home who may not able to come from Basse to join the protest, but is with us in heart and in soul. But the person cannot travel all the way from Basse to come to Westfield to protest. But somebody can also be in Westfield who doesn't feel ideal to join the protest, may not. So at the end of the day, it's not a text game for GALA. It's just a continuation of accountability, transparency, to ensure that there is that governance system that reflects our needs and aspirations.
Okay. What do you say to people that there are a lot of people lost their life to send Jammeh packing? They pay the ultimate price so that we can usher in a semblance of democracy. And when they see young people like GALA, this is a perception out there, they're saying the only thing in their toolbox is to go out there in spile gatsa, the young Senegalese in Senegal. And all you want to create is instability, make the country ungovernable. We have a fragile democracy, and it's all talk about corruption. It's nothing more than creating chaos in the country. What do you say to those people?
So I have said this some couple of times, that first, GALA is not immune to criticism, and we accept divergent views, and then we respect people's view towards what GALA is. But if you understand the emergence of GALA, it's very unideal to think that our purpose is to do any other thing aside for demanding for accountability and transparency. We cannot ungovern this country, and that is why, personally for me, I am not a fan of the Public Order Act. Let's start with that. And I believe the Public Order Act is a colonial establishment, and historically, having that in our law books in 2025 in an advanced world of human rights is itself a huge violation of human rights. But why we continue to seek for permit is to prove to those people that we don't have arms. We are not military officers or police officers that can take arms to destabilize that country. We don't even carry stones. All what we carry is words. All what we carry is our voices. All what we carry is our minds and our souls to salvage this country from terrible corruption, from bad leadership, like I said. So we cannot destabilize. Nobody can destabilize that country, and that has not been the purpose of GALA, and that will never be the purpose of GALA. And in fact, even on the way, anybody within the GALA or outside that seek to turn what GALA was established for, we get you off so that the GALA survive for the people's who demand for the people's movement. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saibu. Pap Samba.
Mr. Saibu.
Yes, Pa.
I'm just looking at my memory on Facebook.
Yes.
3 years ago, I wrote activism today, activism tomorrow, and activism forever.
Yes.
Because I'm of the view that activism is the lifeblood of any democracy in the world.
Right.
To Musa's question, normally those who support the government, I'm not referring to Musa here because he's asking a question based on perceptions.
Right.
Have this view that anybody who challenges the status quo has an ulterior motive.
Right.
Dr. King, who was by far the most peaceful activist ever to live on this earth, on the face of the earth, even more peaceful than Gandhi, because Gandhi was a violent man, mistreated his wife, and all that. They had no such thing from King. Was sometimes called agent provocateur, a rabble rouser, and all these names. Now you live in a country in the Gambia where those who run the government will see you as troublemakers. Where you go to ask for a permit, you are denied, even though it is a fundamental right that is guaranteed by the Constitution. Now you have your families that will try to pressurize you and say, look at what happened to Solo Sendeng. Look at what happened to all these people. They may not even remember you. How are you young people dealing with all these contradictions to ensure that you'll continue to focus on the agenda that you have on hand and will be able to move forward to do what you believe is best?
All right. Thank you very much, Pa. First, I keep saying this, that the hardest job I have ever picked, and a lot of my colleagues will say this, is being a vocal activist in a premature democracy like the Gambia. And of course, like you said, movements and then protests are one way to consolidate any democratic gain. And we have seen historically how movements and protests and all of that help build democracies. But in the Gambia, it's a different case. First, pro-government supporters will always create that narrative of being violent, being unrealistic, and then having ulterior motives, like you said. But at the end of the day, for us, the young people that are in GALA, and for myself generally, I expect backlashes in a premature democracy where people think speaking truth to power is disrespect and is hate for the sitting president or the government. So we embrace backlashes, we embrace criticisms. Because at the end of the day, I once said this to somebody, that I speak for you, and in turn you insult me. And if I said I speak for you, I don't mean you pay me to do that. But anytime I speak against corruption, against human rights violation, because the next minute it could be you that will be the victim. And this is what I keep saying to those kind of people that are pro-government and then come on us. I keep telling them, you are government. Look, Pa, people that work for Jammeh, imagine people that work for Jammeh turn to be victims today. And I once said this, that when I go to the streets, I don't take the streets because Pa, or Musa, or Madi, or Marnyang, or Said Madi's right is just violated. I go to the streets not because of the person, but because of human rights. Because at the end of the day, Saibo, the evening of 8th of May, if me and Bob and Muhammad and Glass were not speaking up and we were behind bars and nobody go out on the streets to demand for our release, probably would have been taken to court and to mile 2 today, Pa. And that is why whoever lives in a country, support the government. I support the government. My way of supporting the government is to ensure that they are accountable and transparent. If your support for government is to clap for President Barrow, do it in a manner that will not harm you tomorrow, because presidency will not last. And we find difficulty with our parents. I remember just yesterday I came from home and then somebody told my mom that I'm protesting against on Wednesday, and then she said if she sees me on the streets on Wednesday, she's going to disown me. Suma gene Wednesday mom madam uti benen yaay.
I know.
So you see, and a lot of the boys as well will face the same thing. But at the end of the day, you know what keeps us going? The little appreciations we find on the streets, we find in the vehicles, we receive calls from, and all of that. No, honestly, I walk on the streets, I meet police officers at checkpoints. They will tell me, Gala, we are behind you. The unfortunate thing, we are in uniform, we cannot say anything. We go to the teachers, they are in the classroom, they will tell us, we are with you, we love that you are speaking for us, but we cannot do it because we are A. You walk on the street, an ordinary Gambian will shake your hand and say, you are Mohammed, you are Galas, please do this for us. We are not able to do it. That's what keeps us going. And that's what makes us the people's movement. And until Gambians come collectively at a citizen assembly and say we don't want Gala again, the few people that think Gala is not what it stands for, we will continue to prove them wrong, because nothing more than being an anti-corruption movement to ensure that generations back had failed us, that us will not be questioned by generations ahead, and then we seek to correct a wrong nation.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing at your answer. I'm laughing at this guy, Coach Pasa. Why are you always
on the
in the
negative
negative side? That's all right. That's good.
Well,
But
you gotta get a dose of those too. I got them a lot.
yeah. But here is the issue though. You guys have taken up a fight, because fighting human rights is easy in a way. Fighting corruption is a lot more complex.
Right.
You are a movement. You do not have money, but you need funding to be able to operate, to do what you do. How are you guys raising funds? And are you also being very selective as to from whom you receive money? Because that becomes very critical. You cannot be an advocate against corruption, but take money from somebody who is not so clean. Anybody who is associated with government, do you take money from people that are associated with government, corporations, businessmen, or all these things? And if anybody wanted to support your cause, even though I've been accused of one of those financing you, I wish I had money, I would give you $1 million without problem. But how are you financing your cause? And if anybody wanted to donate to GALA and what you guys are doing, how do they go about doing that?
All right, so part to start, I keep saying this, apart from the 3 years Jotna and the 5 years Jotna political protest, is either I have led, co-led, or part of protest organizing in this country since 2017. I have never seen a protest where citizens came together to pay $5 and $10. You'll be shocked to say the first protest, the funds there, until we are arrested, then it went viral, and then a lot of people from the diaspora start coming. It was Gambians that joined the group that suggested that they want to pay each $20. It started with $5 and $10 and $20 to fund that protest. And we have never took money from a government agent, a government official, or any business, because at the end of the day, those businesses are not exception to the corruption we are going to fight in one way or the other. So what we did was, the people in the group demanded, okay, how do you want to fund? We want to contribute. We created a wave account, and then, to my knowledge, every money that came there was from young Gambians like me, like any other person paying. I've seen people send $5 and $10 to our WhatsApp.
Wonderful.
And that's how we started with the fundings. And as we speak now, we still have part of that fund that we are trying to do the mobilization. But we have also created a fund, a GoFundMe on wave to have people that are willing to support to come in. And mind you, if you send us that money, we screenshot it, but also we check your background, because at the end of the day, like you said, we are also very conscious of who put their money there, not just because of that part, because tomorrow somebody can come and say, okay, even me, I am A, I am B, and but they have been taking my money, right? So we are funded by the people. The ordinary Gambian in Basel, in Bantanto, in Italy, in Germany, in Switzerland will pay $5, $10, and say buy water for the protest, buy. But we have never received money from a government agent or a business entity.
Thank you, Alaji Musa.
Mr. Saibo.
Yes, Musa.
Like I said before in my previous question, that we don't have disagreement as far as corruption in the Gambia is concerned. There's absolutely corruption, and the state of affairs has a lot to do with that.
Right.
It's not an easy problem to deal with.
Yes.
And I have no doubt in my mind that most of you, your heart is in the right place. Now, whether you have the experience or you know how profound this is a whole different matter. And this is an opportunity to talk directly to the Gambian people. Now, out of your toolbox in supposedly fighting this corruption, what else is there apart from saying Adama Barrow is corrupt, Adama Barrow did that, Abraham did that, this person did this, or go out there and protest and say stop stealing our money? Apart from that tool, what else is there that you guys are going to utilize? Because again, this corruption is endemic. Hold on, it's in the culture. So what else is there apart from what you guys intend, what you guys did the first time you went out, and also what you intend to do the 23rd? Is there anything? Is there any tool in the toolbox that you guys think you will utilize it to fight this corruption?
Right. So we also, aside taking the streets, which is a very fundamental one to ensure that corruption ends, we also have other plans to ensure that we both catch them young, but catch them old. We catch them old through the streets, and we catch them young through the schools and the communities. We need to decolonize or dismantle decolonize the mind of an ordinary Gambian to understand that you don't need to steal and you don't need to lie, like Yankuba Dabo will say actually. But aside protests, we're gonna do community engagements. We're gonna ensure that we tour across the length and breadth of this country. So advocacy. So we're doing both constructive advocacy and confrontational advocacy, if you understand the two basic of advocacy. We're gonna tour this country. GALA will go to every community, to every bantam, to every town and village, to talk to people about the importance of being patriotic and then the importance of being honest and having integrity in carrying state responsibility if you are in public office, but even if you are not in public office. We will do convergence. Let's say, for example, we are going to do an anti-corruption citizen assembly. If you are offered with advocacy in Europe and other parts, you have what is called citizen assembly, where we go and discuss about means of how we end corruption in this country. So collectively, we're going to raise our voice against corruption, top-bottom approach and bottom-top approach. The top-bottom approach is to take the streets to put pressure so that it ends, but the bottom-top approach is to take the streets to the communities, to the bantabas, to talk to people on the importance of having a free corrupt nation and how it progresses by that.
Thank you very much. That was a very good answer, to be honest with you. Mr. Saibo, I know that at the beginning, this thing was kind of spontaneous, informal. People just come and join. Most of them were either social media, cyber commentators. And then you guys went back when everything's said and done, and then you form a committee. You know, can you walk us through the process of how did you guys go about saying Mr. Saibo is in, Pasamba is out, and how do you intend to? Because now, when you said you represent Gambians, there has to be a process of some sort, selection process. Right. I know now it's just a steering committee. You guys came together. So if you can help us, how did you guys choose Kanmo Waraboka, Kanmo Wataboka, and then what is in the medium term, long term, in terms of selecting supposedly people that are going to be running this entity?
Right. So like you said, the steering committee, the central committee is just temporal now. It's more of an interim. And I remember you asked one of the ways we're gonna call on a citizen assembly. And at that citizen assembly, we're gonna invite Gambians across this country and beyond in the diaspora either to contribute or to be part of it. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is for Gambians to take ownership of GALA, and then we go to Congress and Gambians will choose who becomes the next spokesperson, who becomes the next chairperson, and all of that. And for now, Saibo is just running a temporary position to have GALA form its structures, and then that move on. Moving forward, we're gonna do that. So that's one thing we're gonna do. We are an anti-corruption movement, and we are accountable to every Gambian on the street there, including Musa and Pa. If you people want to ask questions, you ask questions and we answer. So the people are going to choose their leaders through the citizen assembly. We are going to call it the Convergence Against Corruption. We are citizens across this country, and probably even if Musa wants to fly back to Banjul to attend that, can come and join us so that we establish a movement that will last for the test of time.
Yeah, somebody is asking for a GoFundMe, so maybe it would not be a bad idea.
Yeah, if you have one of your guys to just share your wave number so that at least we can paste it. Most, you ask your two questions, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're like on that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, so Glass or any of the guys, Nani, whoever is watching, you can share the WhatsApp the wave number on the comment box, or otherwise I'll also check it out and I'll share it. And Musa, you can continue.
So the question that I wanted to ask you is, let's call this the honeymoon period of GALA.
Yes.
Because the Gambia has a very interesting way of doing things.
Right.
Some of your members who were part of the what is it, NAWEC? There was a thing for NAWEC.
Yes.
Occupy NAWEC.
Oh, Occupy. Occupy Westfield.
Occupy Westfield and all these things, the protests that you were doing. So the very people today who are clapping for you were the same people chastising those who were part of that, because then maybe they were in support of the government. Just like you're seeing in the comment section, those who are now in support of the government are calling you all names, but chances are if they're on the other side, you will be their darling. How would you guys mitigate this issue? To understand that not everybody who claps for you is clapping for you because of what you are fighting for, but maybe clapping for you because of the person that you're fighting is their opponent. And that not everybody who opposes you oppose you because of what you're doing, but they're opposing you, the opportunistic nature of it.
Yeah.
They're opposing you because the person that you're fighting, they are siding with. So how do you navigate this thing to understand? I'm saying this from experience.
Right.
I've been doing this for a very, very long time. You know. So how do you make sure that you are able to avoid these pitfalls where you're not going to fall into thinking that this is my friend when the friend is based entirely on opportunism and temporal? Because as soon as they get to the chance of putting money in their pockets, you become the enemy.
Right. So normally, in a typical African setting like the Gambia, it's very, very difficult to navigate through those kind of situations, because realistically, you don't even know who is who. It's hard to know. And I may be young, but one or two eyes I have also dealt with Gambians, and I know the nature of Gambians. But it boils down to the fact that it's not individuals, it's the movement. So if Saibo's ideology loses out of GALA, GALA stays and Saibo is sacrificed. Right? So individuals are sacrificed and the movement stays, because at the end of the day, we are not sent to know that, oh, Pa, your face is written there, you are an opportunist, you are only with us because of A and B and C. But what we could do is to also have, and then as we speak, GALA is developing a code of conduct. We are going to call it the GALA principles. And what the GALA principle do is to sign an oath to be a member of GALA. And when we say to sign an oath, it's not everybody that can sign, but people that may be seen on the surfaces who could be potential opportunists and could fall us into that situation will be held accountable on legal basis if certain things go south based on their attitude and their reactions to GALA. Because at the end of the day, a movement established on the principle on the basis of fundamental principles like anti-corruption cannot lose its sight of holding itself accountable. So we have the GALA principles, and we have individual sacrifices. If Saibo today pick is GALA spokesperson, and tomorrow, ideally, Pa Samba Jaw is president, and I'm with Pa Samba Jaw now, and I feel like I'm also having access to State House, and GALA is A and B, we are not going to stop you, but we'll ensure that on the legal basis, there are certain things you dare not do that because you've been in GALA was a legal agreement, and it is terminated, and then we move forward, and if anything happens, we hold you accountable. But also, GALA is nothing that anybody with sensible mindset, with an intellect, or a critical thinking capacity will take for an opportunity grounds. Because at the end of the day, even if you sleep with Barrow as State House every day, Adama Barrow, President Barrow rather, you know that what GALA speaks about is saving you and the president himself. Like I said this to somebody that even President Barrow should thank GALA because we speak on his behalf. so at the end of the part, I find that difficult, that question very tricky. It's a good thing to flag it, but navigating through that are going to be very, very difficult. But there'll be documentations to ensure that the GALA principles is what guides our loyalty and also our continuity based on a collective effort, not individual standings.
And the other question that I asked is, you also have what we call the agent provocateurs.
Right.
Who would come to your protest, have a different agenda from yours. They may be very active, but they may do things outside of what your plans are.
Right.
And every protest have this.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to be on the lookout to make sure that you're not going to have a Musajeng who's going to go there and just go crazy and create so much tension that now everything would go haywire. Is there any way that you guys would have your lieutenants or whatever who would make sure that those who are part of the protest are going to abide by the very ideals and principles set forth? Because you will always sometimes have somebody who has a different agenda from what GALA is trying to do, but it's part of the protest. And by their actions could make so pretty much stain the very protest that you guys are engaged in.
Right. So we are putting security measures in place. Of course, we're gonna have a security mechanism to ensure that whoever is joining the GALA protest is there on the same purpose and don't go against the principles of not just the protest, but also against the principles of the rule of law and anything that is going to jeopardize not just the protest, but the movement in general. And to that cost, and this time around, we have a very clear agreement with the Gambia Police Force that instead of sending armed paramilitaries, the crowd management skill is going to be, they're going to send the normal uniformed men and women and then collaborate with the people we are going to identify from GALA team, from us and the regional coordinators and everybody that is going to come there to ensure that we are all in the same lane and nothing beyond demanding for the issues we have listed for the past days and delivering the petition to the institutions responsible. Nothing else will happen. And I hope and pray that with the people that are in fact offering voluntary support as securities to be on the ground and in the police force, will ensure that the protest goes as planned and no other motive is injected except for what the protest is called for.
Thank you. I'm about to just say the last thing and then Musa would finish it off with his questions. Is that I just wanted to give props to the Gambia Police Force for doing what is constitutionally required by them, that is allowing you guys to exercise your democratic rights. And for GALA to understand too, that by your protest, you are not being given any special treatment. You are given a right that is, guaranteed to you. And do not allow anybody, especially those who support the government, to paint you in a way as if you are a threat to security of that country. All throughout protests in the Gambia that I've followed, been part of, read about, every violence that came about from the security forces. Go and do your thing and be guided. I'll leave you with these words of Dr. King. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And you, young people, are on the right side of history. Keep focused on what you're doing. Do it peacefully and have your message out to the people. Gambians are listening because corruption is one of the reasons why our country continues to be wallowing in abject poverty and wretchedness. And that has to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Pa. Thank you. Just Musa, before you come, Pa, you made mention of one thing that is very important, and I said this at the meeting table or the discussion table with the Commissioner for Investigations and Intelligence, that all the protests that went violent in this country went violent because of the police. And I told them that historically, every protest that is offered a permit in this country have never gone violent, and therefore, whatever else happened, they cannot paint us. And then be rest assured that both by PR and on the ground, we will not allow any government official to make us look what we are not. And thank you very much for being also an inspiration. I know they accuse you a lot about GALA. We will take the responsibility for you. Thank you. Yes, Musa.
So, Saibo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to be the bad guy.
Of course.
That has to happen. It can be an opportunity as well. What do you say to people that GALA, if you look at them very closely, it comprises of opposition sympathizers, that you guys are, most of you are either sympathetic to opposition party A, or opposition party B, and opposition party C. And all you're doing is using these Jammeh assets, brouhaha, as a conveyor belt to go after the government. Now, do you have any supposedly NPP sympathizers within your ranks?
All right, Musa, to start with, movements are not governments where we hire and appoint. They are open to the public, and people whose ideology match the emergence of the movement join them. If an MPP supporter or sympathizer thinks that GALA have served and is serving his or her purpose, the person is welcome, and GALA will embrace him or her with an open arm. We are the people's movement, regardless of politics, age, religion, or regionalism. Secondly, we have people from diverse backgrounds. On the 8th of May, we did not say UDP, MPP, PDOIS, or any other party come out and join us. We said Gambians come out and demand for what is right. So Gambians that deem fitting and then feel GALA have reflect their need and aspiration came out. So we are not political. We don't abhor politicians. We abhor and accept Gambians who are ready to effect a change through the voice and the collective voice GALA carries. So we're not gonna say you are UDP gonna join us. If President Barrow himself want to be GALA member, he's most welcome.
I like you, Saibo. So Saibo, I mean, I got a question. That people sent to me, and this has something to do with the registration of GALA.
Right.
You're seeing it, and when people saw this thing that you are a charitable organization, and so we're laughing and saying, "What the hell? These people are not charitable." But then, so explain to people an opportunity again that you guys, there were other, options that you have taken, but you were basically restricted to say a charitable organization or NGO. And then some would ask, why don't you register like a civil society organization? Or is it the same thing? If you could basically explain to people that were laughing, saying that you're definitely not a charitable organization.
Yeah, I remember I raised a question to say, if we are not going to register as a charitable organization, are we going to register as an anti-corruption business center? Because if you look at the Companies Act,
right,
it's either you register as a business or a charitable organization, and that charitable organization comes in various forms, and is where you have civil society and NGO.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, GALA cannot register as business. We either must register as NGO or as a civil society, and that falls under the category of charitable or non-profitable organization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a simple interpretation. And those who are laughing perhaps it's just the same thing like you all disagree. People will disagree with GALA, and at every little opportunity, because GALA is not run by robots. No, we are human beings.
Right.
Right. And what we do could be faulty. But what I know is certain that the AG need to understand that to say that we are not a charitable organization is very misguided, because in the first place, who defined what a charitable organization looks like and means?
Mm-hmm.
I register Fact Check Center as a non-profitable organization, right? And if GALA feel like if charity is also speaking up truth to power, then we are a charitable organization through our voices and our collective aspirations, actually. So to conclude, we cannot register as a business, so we must register as non-profitable or a charitable organization. So in our preamble, we put there charitable organization, and I don't know how that ideally becomes a problem for the AG to register us.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something to that. And I think I was talking to Musa the other day about this.
Mm-hmm.
This notion of using the Gambia itself, I'll say go ahead and challenge it in court, because I think it cannot stand.
Right.
Because of there is an organization. These are all organizations, different forms. Gambia's Party for Democracy and Development. The Gambia is used there. It's not necessarily a representation of all Gambia. We have had a political party called Gambia People's Party. So what I'm saying here is, let's get the Supreme Court of the Gambia to make a declaration on this matter. I say do not drop your name based on that just to register it. Challenging it court, so that at least we will, because that's the essence of having courts.
Yeah. So
because they are interpreting it one way, and I believe they are wrong.
To even add to that, you make mention of political parties, but we have civil society organizations and NGOs that have the Gambia. Not for anything, just for example purpose. We have Gambia Participate. We have Gambia Victim Center. The Victim Center, even though it's famous with Victim Center, but has Gambia. We have the Gambia Talents TV, all registered under the Companies Act, if I am correct. So I don't know why the Gambia becomes the problem. I don't think it's the name that's the problem. It's the movement that is the problem. And like you said, we will challenge this to court. Our next moves will be part of this after the Wednesday protest, to ensure that we take the legal actions to denying us our constitutional right to register as a movement.
And I hope Gambian lawyers will not sit and wait for somebody to pay them to do this. Take up this matter pro bono, because at the end of the day, it is in the interest of democracy and building democracy in our country.
As GALA, I mean, I see my man here, Galas. He just so, but Galas, welcome to the 40 People by the People. I think you've been here before.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you're listening to the conversation. What would you want to add? I think Omar held his own. What would you want to add to some of the issues and questions that were raised?
Assalamu alaikum. I am just here for a moral booster when it comes to my PRO, or when it comes to the spokesperson of GALA, because he has said everything that needs to be said on this platform.
Right.
And when it comes to me coming here, I do not even think that it is necessary for me to come on this platform, because he is equal to the task. That's why anywhere we have such programs we have been invited to, he is the person that represents this organization. Or because I might call it the business company or whatsoever, because as of now, I have been hearing people talking about the registration phase, and you see, like, people pounce on every little thing that they can get in regards to deter people from having this movement to take place. Because as of now, we are so concentrated on how to deliver the Gambian people. And the task that we have undertaken amongst ourselves, like not the national coordinating team, but Gambians at large, because a whole lot of things have changed from May 8th, on the day that we have been arrested to date. Because now, the last time that we went to the police headquarters for questioning, or when it came to the screening part of it, the way we have been treated by the police this time around, it's different from the way that we were treated during the other phases when it comes to protest.
Absolutely.
We have been treated with respect. We have been accorded respect for the first time against the police. And all this is due to the leverage that the Gambian people are having now when it comes to standing up for their rights. Because they know that these things are non-negotiable. They know that these are our unalienable rights that we are going out to the streets for. They know that with or without these permits, we are going here. They know that this is the time that they need to sit back, reflect on the things that they have done before, and come forward and accept and own up to their previous mistakes that they have done. Because if someone organizes a protest, the next minute you come up there, bring in paramilitary to come and face them with full jazz, that is an intimidation tactic in the first place. We have been seeing protests being organized all over the world. Everyone that you see there is the police in their normal dressing. So you bring paramilitary, and at the end of the day, you want to instigate violence, because this is the norm. And I am glad that the Gambia Police Force, according to what they have said, they are learning from their mistakes that they initially did. And we have been strict, we have been straightforward with them when it comes to the things that we've said, and we told them that because they refer to us, the marches, as friends, but we denied that, because so far we are not seeing the police as friends. Because during the previous instances and the things that they have done, like, if you look at it from that perspective, the way they have been brutalizing citizens that are going out for their rights, then you cannot call these people friends. What we need to do now, looking at what they will do in the coming protest, because this is just the beginning of a whole lot of things to happen. There are 1,000,002 things that are happening in the Gambia that people need to protest for.
Yeah.
You see, everyone that is coming to Westfield with a banner, they have something that is bothering them. Even within the GALA executive, you are seeing people. Hakim today he came out. He said that specifically he is coming out to protest against the $30 million oil scandal. You see, you meet people in the national executive. People are coming out because they want to protest because of GFF. You see, some people are very keen on what happened to the 66 babies that died due to Aki. Some people are coming out due to the $300 million case in the Gambia Port Authority that was being brushed under the carpet. And nothing wants to be done about it. Other people are waiting patiently so that they can hang Galas and Rugilo because of their belief that the things that have happened in the Banjul City Council are just not done. So people are coming out for different reasons.
Correct.
People want to come out for different reasons, and some people are patiently waiting for the reports in regard to the malaria case to come out so that they can protest on behalf of that. So you have 1,000,002 things that are bothering Gambians that they need to come out for, on the rain or on the sunshine. So, but when it comes to the protest, I agree with a whole lot of people. I tell them that this protest, it should be crowdfunded, because as people need to fund their own liberty.
Yes.
People need to fund their own liberty. You know, I have connections. I have people who can come up, bring about like a $500,000 or $1 million, bring it up here, and tell you that we want to sponsor this protest. But at the end of the day, which strings are attached to it? Am I ready for that? Are we ready to even have that conversation? Look, GALA will be tainted. GALA will be tainted if people come to Westfield. They see that there is a PA system, there is a banner, there are T-shirts, and we are not asking people for donation. They should ask, where are these people getting their money from?
Yeah.
That is just not done. GALA needs to be funded by Gambians. There is a certain incident that happened in Senegal whereby Usman Sonko said that anyone that believes in the project should donate $1,000,000, which is $110. Anything above it will be returned to you. At the end of the day, it becomes millions. But you know what? Even here in the Gambia, when it comes to our views and our bantabas, people, they always put their mouth where their money is. Anything that has to do with their money, they defend it to death. Xam nga coach sa mun na ma sédé né time warga ku dé gëna tek mo fa dé gëna déw.
I like that.
So tegé sa halis do dé buga budé. Wa so légui just a typical example is Alberak taking over the Gambia Ports Authority. What kind of new mechanism did they put in place? Nothing. They just privatized the place, and after one quarter they made more than what Ports was making in a year. What happened? Yeah. Change of personnel. Because if it is a public institution, it must go down because nobody takes ownership. Nobody is willing to sacrifice. But if it is a private entity, everything goes correct.
Yes.
So GALA being funded by people, do you know what sparked the people to come up after we were arrested? It is the people that we are donating their $25 when they saw that these things were heading south. Those were the people that came out and staged the protest when we were arrested. Because they always put their mouth where their money is. Every Gambian is a shareholder of GALA if you believe that we should reclaim this country from corruption. So every Gambian needs to check in, be it at home, be it abroad, be it anywhere. Because I am a Murid. And whatsoever that we believe in is crowdfunding. I have seen a city that is having over 3 million inhabitants that is being governed through crowdfunding. A city that has water supply for 3 million people through crowdfunding in the 21st century. I have seen a group of people that have constructed a railway just to build a mosque like 75 to 80 years ago through crowdfunding. I know what crowdfunding can do. It creates ownership. It creates a sense of belonging. And that is what I think should be instilled in the Gambians. Let them know that GALA is them and they are GALA. Because we are touching in all hemispheres, and I think that is just where I wanted to come in.
Thank you very much, Gallas, as usual. And there was this Moses, your comment was deleted because again, in as much as we entertain every comment or contribution, profanity is not really accepted at all. So we need to refrain from that. We can disagree without kind of getting into profanity. Bob Samba, we've been on for the past, 3 hours?
3 hours, yeah, it's been a good one. So wanted to thank Singesti Yeptei and all our viewers, and continue doing what you guys are doing. And it is a fundamental right that nobody should determine, and nobody has a right to even tell Gambians what they should fight or not fight for. If the people feel that they can defend this government with everything they do, then you better respect the rights of others to oppose it. That's it. You will hear all names, but you are on the right side of history. Gambia's problem is not activism. Gambia's problem is corrupt officials who for 60 years, you have independence since 1965. What do we have to show for it? Our people are living pretty much in the same way that they've been living then. Government officials, though, continue to live large, while our people continue to wallow in poverty. And then you will have people just go and make up all these things, activism, this activism, that, stay the course. And guess what? All those that have problem with activism today, especially if you are in the United States and being black, without activism today, you would have been living under Jim Crow. But with that,
so that's the last
on. Thank you.
From the activists in chief.
On steroids.
So, no, I wouldn't say that today. So, Mr. Saibo, your last closing statement.
I love Saibo, man. You guys give me hope.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Pa. Actually, I've been a keen follower. I think you've been one of my inspirations into activism, actually. And Musa will get offended again.
I am already, but I'm useful.
But Musa, thank you very much. Thank you. I like your line of questioning, and I like how you handle your question. It was a great show. But my final words are going to be this: either you support a sitting government, either you oppose a sitting government. It's a collective responsibility to set our country on the right path for everybody to live in dignity, in honor, and in respect.
Mm-hmm.
And then governance may have countless principles, but three most fundamental principles is to ensure there is transparency, there is accountability, and there is that respect for the rule of law. Because if these three are established, the rest becomes easy to maneuver and establish, and the government moves. Gambian people, Wednesday is the Citizens' Assembly Against Corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, regardless of your affiliation, your region, your tribe, your age, what we are demanding for is a demand for a better healthcare system, for a better educational system, for a better drainage system, for a system where we go to the best schools, we go to the best hospitals, and we have the best life to live. And we cannot just do this through the social media. And sometimes we have to take the streets, we have to march, we have to chant for freedom, because freedom is never free, and then the price is not on our beds. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Gambia, and see you on Wednesday.
So Gallas, I have a quick question for you because you just got on. As 2026 is looming, there's going to be a presidential elections, and there's going to be parliamentary elections as well. I mean, what is going to be the role of GALA? Are they going to be endorsing candidates, or are they going to stay on the margins, or are they just going to be? What's going to be the role of GALA?
Okay. Thanks for that question, Musa. And this is a question that I have been answering even at the UTG, in the School of Arts and Sciences. There are people who have problems like understanding these things, because people need to understand that.
Galas. Musa, I'm going to leave you with Galas now. I have to rush back.
Yes, thank you very much.
I was somewhere where I'm doing the meeting now. I have to go home. So catch up with you guys some other time. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good night.
Absolutely, you did great.
What I want to explain is GALA is a political movement, but GALA is not a partisan movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that people need to understand. GALA is a crusade of accountability, irrespective of who is in power or not.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, in a political movement, because one thing that people need to understand is activism is always the breeding ground of the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
It has been like that since the beginning of time. In politics, activism is always the breeding ground of opposition. And we are a political movement because of the kind of accountability that we ask for from the government, from the states, from other parastatals. It makes us or qualifies us as a political movement, but we are not a partisan movement.
Correct.
In the future, what normally happens, like what is the norm that we normally see in places like all over the world?
Mm-hmm.
Opposition parties, sometimes they do come in, poach people from activism and present them. Because of, to understand the political dynamics of this country, it's very difficult for a novice to understand. It is different from the clout that people know for. It's different from accountability. And Gambia is a place whereby, when it comes to the political sphere, it is a place whereby they celebrate ignorance and the front seats are exclusively reserved for failures. That is the Gambian political arena. So it's not about being a just person that will make you to be politically inclined in the Gambia political arena. So any member of GALA or any executive member of GALA that wants to be part of partisan politics, they can easily relinquish their positions and leave GALA. Because of GALA is an accountability crusade, and immediately when you take political office, then GALA will be against you in accounting you for whatsoever that you do. So GALA is being set up in this way. That is why we have morphed from a moment to a movement, whereby we are having now regional structures, because through these regional structures is where you can poach people who are delivering very well so that they can be candidates when it comes to the National Organizing Committee. Because it needs to continue. But the moment you start tainting candidates, the moment you start selecting candidates, but I am just being honest with you now, based on the corruption allegation scandals that are coming here through the local government commission, if it came around 2021, I was not going to endorse Rogiro. I'm just telling you the hard fact. Because endorsing candidates even as an activist in this country now, it is detriment. It's detrimental. Because at the end of the day, you do not even know what is on the other side of the coin. You are being tempted for things that you know not. Because these are the people that you present for leadership. So, to cut the long story short, GALA is not going to be endorsing candidates. People can do it at their own free will, but the movement stays like this.
Thank you very much, Gallas. Thank you very much. You've always remember seeing you during the Jammeh days, right there in the road and delivering the speech. I'm like, who the hell is this young guy? Tell me. And that was the first time I saw you and I heard what you said. I'm like, this young man is going somewhere.
all of that started from somewhere, because I started it during after the arrest of Solo. We were there at the Age 22 with the Kalama Revolution, with people like Fatmata Tambajang and a very, very fearless young man. His name was Mohamed Singate. He was later arrested and he joined these people. And it was exactly today that the court issued a verdict to convict people like Lawyer Dabo. It was on the 20th of July.
Reminded us of that.
Yeah, it was on the 20th of July 2016. It is 9 years ago today, exactly today. So because I can vividly remember what happened, like at the end of the day, the chaos, and it was through that court case when it was over, because when it was over, I can even remember Adama Barrow was normally in his Kia Sportage vehicle around the Gambia High End opposite Gloucester Street. That's where he normally parked his car, because I wasn't acquainted to him by that time, but he was normally at near the courthouse. So these things, when it ended, that was where another thing morphed of, like we know that one chapter ended. We came when it came to the formation of the coalition and stuff. And it is very sad to see the faces that are around Barrow as of now, because nobody builds a house to break it. People do not hate Adama Barrow after all the sacrifices that they made to elect him. People do not hate him. But it is the people that he surrounds himself with. It is because of greed. It is because of corruption that people are coming out. Because I have never, and I have been acquainted to him, but I have never gone to the State House for a courtesy call. I have never lobbied for anything or an appointment of such, because I just wanted to be like this, being on the accountability side of the coin. So as of now, this is where we tend to continue. Like, it has been very good. We have been poaching people from CRR, from LRR, because if you need a national movement, you need faces to be like nationally. And we will be having a whole range of, things that we need to do, because when it comes to protest, what the police said and what they were trying to offer us, because of all the details of the negotiations cannot come out. But what they were trying to offer us, like, we did not take it in the first place, because of they were saying like, okay, we just want this thing to be peaceful. Just take one side road or one feeder road, lead to Westfield, be done with this. And we refuse to be cornered. They say that you will be disrupting traffic. But what we told them is, the idea of protest itself is to disrupt. The idea of protest itself is to put something at a standstill so that people will give you attention. That is the idea of protest. We are not on a march pass whereby we will be sharing drinks and bottled water with the police. People are angry because of people are dying. People are telling me that what happens when a woman is being pregnant, because these are lines that they will normally use to get your emotion. What happens if a pregnant woman is passing through ambulance? It is because of poor health care that women are dying in clinics and everything that is happening in this country. How many women are dying? How many kids died out of Aki, and what happened? What came out of it? People are protesting for that. You are telling me that what happens when the ambulance want to pass? Those are logistics that you people need to take care by yourselves. But we refuse to enter that emotion hole that is being created for us to enter, because the idea of protest itself is to disrupt something. And there will come a time that they will be fed up with the protest that we are normally writing the permit, because we will be going out, and we will be going out again until things change. Because we are not going to rest on our laurels. Even if it means to protest once every week, we are going out. So these are things that people need to understand. At the end of the day, they will be fed up. But we should be fed up with corruption. We should be fed up with corruption first before being fed up with protest. Things are happening in this country. People are dying. People are sad. That's why I even told the executive of GALA, even if these people are coming to sign petition coming from central government, the way you comport yourself is necessary. Seeing a senior government official that you are friends with coming there to laugh and hug you, these are things that I will not condone, because people are sad, people are angry. People, we do not need to make friends or mingle like that, because there is nothing peaceful in this country. Before peace, we must fight for justice.
Thank you, Brother Gallus.
Okay.
We'll definitely bring you back. Your message is loud and clear, and we thank you guys for coming and joining us.
And we are calling on everyone. Even if you are overseas, to call people that you know here. Let them mobilize, because this is a system that we are fighting against, and this system is afraid of numbers. The more numbers we get on the streets, the more leverage the masses have against the Gambian government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gallus. Thank you very much. We'll bring you back again and your team. So, Pap Samba, it was a good one. You know, Nakalenko Wahati. Oops.
Of course. You know.
Yeah.
It was really good. And the good thing, Musa, I think you talk to these young people, you realize how smart these young boys are.
They're very smart.
You know, they are very, very, very smart. My God, these kids are a lot more, I should stop calling them kids. These young men are a lot more sophisticated than we were when we were.
Yeah, they're going somewhere.
They're going somewhere. And you know what? Hey, all of that, you know, from Sinko today, Sichin, the Opumba monkey. And this is a topic that people have been talking about for so long, and we cannot just brush it under the carpet and act like it has never happened. It is there. You know.
I mean, I think they're harping on an issue that most Gambians believe, that the country is very corrupt. I mean, the government, and really, whether do they have the political will to fight corruption?
They don't.
Whole different story. They don't. I mean, you watch the local government. I mean, there's corruption all over the place. And I like his Gallus. Everybody knows that he was actually selected or nominated by Rohilo to be a councillor.
Yep.
So for him to come right out and say, look, if I the very things that I'm witnessing or seeing right now, if I had known that, I wouldn't be endorsing this lady. I mean, that says a lot about this individual. It really does. And,
it's just and I'm going to say, I'm more gonna grouse sometimes, and sometimes it's just sad that when you support a government like say boy Fati, who are you to tell people what they should do? They can be doing allow. Who are you? You do not own the damn country. You never support Barrow all you want, but to tell us that people are not going to protest because you like Barrow, you must be out of your mind.
I mean, people have their different opinions.
And then I also have mine to counter opinions too.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but listen, Hamgalan mo gramos. When you start to question people's credibilities, you're going to Salmani, because they take a stance different from yours. We are not the one associating with Sidi Jai, making a clown of our National Assembly.
Right.
We are not the reason why 300 million was missing from ports. Nothing happened to it.
Right.
You know, so don't come and start telling us, oh, you've lost your credibility, because we are saying things that you don't want to hear. We have to sing kumbaya to a government because you support that government.
Right.
Tell me that. Monday, how much and I don't take that from anybody.
Right. Well,
nobody's going to tell me who I'm going to support or what I'm going to say. You've been invited on this platform to come and defend this government. You refuse to do that.
This
so
platform,
when you get in, why?
It's not an opposition platform.
It's nonsense.
You have to say that. We bring people that have their views. I mean, they could be different from yours. We bring government officials.
We brought them here.
The Minister of Information and Broadcasting, I mean, Dr. Sise. We've invited.
Have you not been following him all this time?
That's what we do. I mean, it's not like
we've even brought here Naka Mamburenjai and his whole Naka
there's nothing the
apparatus
will do.
It's nonsense. You don't
like what you're hearing. Just stay a little bit longer. You're gonna hear what you would agree with. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast.
And here, this is just what I want to say. Nobody has ever been denied an opportunity to come to the show, including the nonsense that is being spewed. The guy that is talking about credibility was invited how many times? Come and defend your government if you believe in it.
Salum Harla, Mr. Chongan.
People can take that, man. I would not. Man, I'm not, I will never be apologetic for my stance and my beliefs. But anyway, Musa, you're some burbi Daniel Adnan Kotay.
Kanchi, Balagi.
Masahlare.
What be like?
Du mo Muhammad Sito la Borel Khamalan.
No, really.
Daniel nañ ko de.
Oh my goodness.
Foog naa daal Sito laa gis ñu ne moo gagné xam na foog naa su fekkee Sito la foog naa kooku la no Borel. Dumb nañ ko.
Oh my God. But anyway, but thank you to my main man, Bubacarr Sidiqi. He did well. And,
no, he did. He did. And, people will always have their views and their opinion, and we're not going to bring anybody here and disrespect you. That is something that you've never done and will never do. You come, we ask you questions, you answer them.
All right, man. Pop Samba.
Akasa, Saint Mos.
We will be back, inshallah, next Sunday.
Yeah, and next Sunday I'm trying to work on Dr. Nabani.
Yes.
To get back to this constitution thing. And Suleiman Ba wants to have a debate with another guy on
I saw him tagging us yesterday.
Yeah, so we'll work on that so that we'll just all come and exchange ideas here. That's the goal.
Able to drag for the Jawla to the 40 people by the people, not just through the window, but Jarang. And you know what he's going to do now? Watch his timeline. He would be Musa Jeng in capital letters.
No, you're punching bag of mom. You know what's funny? I saw him wrote something. My name is Fode Jawla Musa Jeng Amjatam. Mone Halifa Sala. Though they were renting at Halifa's compound, Pool Forea, the very rent. There is nothing that has ever been done at Halifa's house. So I don't know where he got that. Why he did the same for the Jalo who claimed Halifa was giving a scholarship by social what is this? What was it? Social welfare to come to the US. Manoko Halifa came to the US when he was 16 years old. So
when I said the person who's going to win 2026 has to be a likable candidate. So by saying that, it means Mandinkas, they are not likable.
The Jawara still stands out as the most likable politician ever.
No. But anyway, he was a good one.
The good one. Do manager candidate be sa nakala sura. Do faral ko win muk. Sombormi do manager ko bagade.
I didn't even know Sane Mungdon. That tells you, boy, I'm not in tune even with and Boy Fatty is where's Boy Fatty again? Somebody saying Boy Fatty, are you serious? But anyway, we'll be back next Sunday, and thank you for all our listeners, viewers,
and sponsors
as well,
and guests.
That's what I said. The viewers. I didn't know the guests. What do you mean the guests that we invited? Galis, Omar Saibo, and obviously
Musa yang bahana. Why, you know what? Hamga kan gay nuru nak fum nekane Musa. Koto seni.
My man. I activist like
Anyway, you def nono man.
Jerejef.
Akasa.